live from Phoenix Raceway in Avondale, Arizona. We are here with the final race of the Full Throttle Sim Racing Darkmeyer Designs Cup Series Championship as we will crown a champion. 4 drivers will enter, but only one will declare themselves as the champion of Full Throttle Sim Racing Cup Series for the season. It's been a long year, 38 races, plus the All-Star race, and here we are at the flat track out in Phoenix, Chris. Going to be exciting, but man, 4 drivers, and we have no idea what's going to happen tonight.
Absolutely not, Jared. This racetrack is, first off, all new to the iRacing world. Just released about a week ago, right before the actual championship here at Phoenix. Makes things a little bit more difficult, Jared, because you can't rely on those old setups. They may be similar, but it's not exactly the same track.
Exactly right. A little bit different in 1 and 2, and obviously the dog leg and things like that a little bit different than what these guys are experienced. I do believe, and I want to double check this because I know some of the other races that were run. Yes, we are running the Open. It looks like I know a couple of the races we had early in the week on Full Throttle TV at with the Blackwire Products Truck Series here at Full Throttle Sim Racing. Those guys had the closed dog leg, but I believe this one is open as far as I can see. And Chris, with that being open, how is that going to affect these starts and restarts? I mean, that's a lot of space down there.
It certainly is, Jared. A lot of time to be made up in those lower areas of the track. This track here, you're basically going to see several drivers below the yellow line almost always through that dog leg that you mentioned, Jared, and we saw it in the actual Cup race. A lot of time can be made up there throughout the race, but a lot of times that can also hurt you on a restart, especially if you end up going getting out of your line but too early there. So it could come back to bite a couple of drivers as well. So a lot of things to worry about on restarts here, and it's not a straight surface that you're restarting on, Jared. With that dog leg right there, you're at a turn when you're throttling up. That means the tire spin here can be real deadly in those restart zones.
You're exactly right, Chris, and a lot of information there. We look back to the previous race at this Phoenix Raceway, Chris, and you look at this. I mean, you talk about, guys like Bernard Person. He finished dead last year in March. You talk about Dale Nearad. He won back in March. Bobby Terrell, he was a past winner at Phoenix on the old layout, what's known as Legacy Phoenix 2008. So a lot different than the one we're racing today. He finished 4th in March, and Casey McMullen, he finished his best race was 3rd in November of 2019, but he has yet to win. What can we expect out of these 4 championship contenders here?
Well, the first and foremost, you got to talk about Bernard Person coming into this race as the defending champion. Either that ends tonight or it continues after tonight. He seemed to have great speed last week and throughout the playoffs, kind of stepped it up from his regular season, you could say, Jared, and it's definitely shown. He's got a lot of momentum in that 8 car, and really you can see it on the track every single week. He's certainly been a contender for the win if he has not taken the win. So it's been an interesting battle for him. But then you've got Casey McMullen in the 71. He was your points leader for a majority of the season of the 38 races. So he's shown that he can be Mr. Consistency. But Mr. Consistency needs to be able to win here tonight because these drivers are fast. Bobby Terrell, he's been fast all season long. Had a little bit of loss of momentum in the playoffs and really kind of battled his way through it to be able to remain in this top 4 here tonight. So he certainly knows what it takes and the diversity that will matter for him. Then you've got Dale Nearad. He's kind of been the dark wolf of the championship 4. He's kind of been able to pull out wins in places you really wouldn't expect him to, especially with such tracks like the Bristol Dirt. It's a little bit new. He went out there and he pretty much dominated that race, Jared. So he certainly knows how to get it done. The problem is you've got all these other drivers out here that are battling for the race win. It's not just your championship 4.
Yeah, you're exactly right, Chris. And you look at those standings there on the screen. Their qualifying is going on as we speak. And right now, Bobby Terrell at the top of that board. But you look at the guys that are in here. We also have the battle for 5th place in points. Troy Torgerson has a 33-point advantage on Richie Coy. Based on the amount of drivers that we have tonight, it looks like that is official. So Troy Torgerson will wind up as the best of the rest of the playoff drivers. Then we have the battle a little bit more close. Bill Benedict for 17th between him and Sher Williford. Also, Kevin Rupert can move to 18th. He can't move to 17th, and that would be best of the non-playoff drivers. So a couple key battles there to take a look at. Also, way back, we'd be remiss to talk about it, but we have the battle for 35th in points. So Full Throttle Sim Racing next season, top 35 are locked in. Then there's going to be 8 additional spots or maybe 5 additional spots. I don't know all the specifics, but the top 35 100% locked in next year. That battle right now, Gary Griffith not in the race tonight. He has that advantage by about 34 points over Adam Newton, but I expect Adam Newton will move into that spot, and he is really the only driver in that mix to make it into the top 35 right now. So there's your battles here. Rookie of the Year sewn up by Troy Torgerson. He had the best season this year. So as far as rookies. So he got that done and got that award as well. So nothing left to give out except the hardware for the championship. You see the drivers on the track right now, Chris, getting their qualifying times up there. Bobby Terrell, the regular season champion, led the points for 22 races of the regular season. And he's up on the pole. Darren Bruce, he's been spoiler in these playoffs. He's second quick, followed by McMullen, Hannah, Person. Nearad, not a great qualifying, only back in 13th position.
Yeah, I was watching him in his qualifying attempt, Jared. Got a little bit loose coming out of the corner, had to check up, and because of that, lost a lot of momentum, and that's why he's back there so far back.
We're going to bring in our first championship contender.
We
got Casey McMullen. Casey McMullen, this is Jared and Chris up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you loud and clear.
Well, Casey, I know that you've been kind of battling some illness, and I'm glad you're out here racing tonight. I was worried that you may not be able to make it, but, man, this is a big race. How are you feeling going into it?
A little bit behind, but, tonight's my first night of getting on, and we're going to give her a shot. I'm not really that good here at this track, but, we're going to try to do what we always do and just use the strategy and good racing to stay up near the front.
Well, Casey, you come into this race. Your best finish was third at this track a couple of seasons ago, but you won a very crucial race as the playoffs were narrowing down. You were able to get that win at Kansas. How has that impacted you going forward coming into this race? You got a little bit of momentum on your side?
Yeah, it feels good to get that win out of the way. And I thought I was going to get all this practice in for this track. I thought, oh, good. Now I don't have to worry about Martinsville, but I didn't get my practice in, unfortunately. It's kind of a bummer because I was really ready to go.
Well, Casey, congratulations on making it here, and we will definitely talk to you at the end of the race. So best of luck, and we'll see you then.
Thank you. Want to wish Bobby, Bernie, and Dale good luck tonight as well.
All right, Chris. That was Casey McMullen. Kind of comes in as the underdog, and I believe you are standing by with our regular season champion, Bobby Terrell.
That I have. I've caught up with the driver of the number 5 machine. Bobby, this track is definitely a unique one, especially with it just being released to us about 2 weeks ago here before championship race. What did you do to prepare coming into tonight?
Just practice. Like everyone else.
Is there anything different that you've noticed about this track here tonight that you weren't expecting coming into the race?
No, I mean, I think the track's easier. The track's smoother. I think it's easier in this configuration for some reason. I think the old configuration was a little more of a driver's track to me. This one, I don't know. It's super smooth. I don't know. It's different. I mean, I like it. It's just different.
Bobby, you were able to round out and win the regular season championship. What's it going to take here tonight to make the sweep and get the actual championship as well?
Well, a lot of luck. Just be smooth, hit my marks, have some luck on my side.
Well, Well, Bobby, good luck on your endeavors there at the end of that. I think we lost Chris there. But congratulations on making it, and we will talk to you at the end of the race.
All right, thanks, man. Appreciate it, guys.
All right, guys, that was Bobby Terrell, the driver of the number 5 car. Wanted to bring in Dale Nearad. He has been the hot shot in the season, finishing runner-up in the Rookie of the Year points. Dale, you coming into this one. You've won at Phoenix in March. Can you get it done tonight and grab that championship?
Well, I don't know if I could, but I came in with the same mindset back in Phoenix, where I was like, oh, I don't like this track. Here, they reconfigured the track, so now I don't like it. But who knows? I could steal the win tonight and probably win this championship.
We've had such a great year. You got to win at Kansas. You got to win at Bristol Dirt. You got to win at the old Phoenix, I guess you could say. Are you kind of happy with where you're at, or you think, hey, I want your season's not going to be complete unless you get that championship?
Well, to me, it's already complete. This is much better than I anticipated being in the championship for, but I'm gonna try to make the most of it. Try to steal that championship and see what I can do.
All right, Dale. Well, congratulations and good luck tonight, and we will be talking to you at the end of the race, bud.
Thank you, Jared.
All right, Chris. That was Dale Nearad, driver of the 03 car, and I think you've caught up with Bernard Persson, the defending champion.
That I have. Bernard, going into this race, you are the defending champion. What's it going to take to be able to have that crown for next season?
Just, stay out of trouble, stay up front, just give myself a chance on the long. Hopefully we have long runs, and just be up there at the end.
Going into this race, you also claimed the regular or the championship in the truck series for the FTSR racing series. How much of that actually is relative to tonight's race?
The two drive totally different. Gives you a little bit of confidence coming into tonight's race. But these cars drive so much different because of the horsepower as well. And but it does give you, a little bit of confidence coming into this race, only because you want to defend that champion as well.
Absolutely. Well, best of luck here tonight. We'll be catching up with you a little bit later on in the race. We'll see exactly how it plays out, but best of luck.
Thank you, guys, and I hope you put on a good show. And I also like to say good luck to Dale and Bobby and Casey for. I hope they finish well and do well in the race.
Absolutely. We'll be checking in with you later. Best of luck again as we get ready to get rid up.
All right, Chris, there you go. We got Josh Johnson. He's at home cheering on the K2B guys, Darren Bruce, Josh Mayhew, and Mark Figueroa. So shout out to Josh for tuning in and watching with us here tonight on Facebook Live. You can catch us also on YouTube as well. But there you go, Chris. I mean, this is great. All these drivers ready to go. And we're going to get these guys lined up and ready to go on the track here in just a moment. There we go. Everybody getting on grid. Sorry about the delay there. Had a little bit of an issue with the grid coming up there. So here we go. On pole is your championship, one of your championship 4 drivers and regular season champion, Bobby Terrell, with a time of 26.074. Alongside him, Darren Bruce, who won a race earlier in the playoffs, although not a playoff driver at Texas. Row number 2 is another playoff driver, Casey McMullen. He won back at Kansas to get himself into the Final Four. And Brody Hanna, the 2018 C champion. Row number 3, the defending champion, Bernard Persson, in row number 3, alongside Ralph Nolan Jr., who was just eliminated last week from the playoffs. Row 4 will be Jason Spear and Lane Allen. And rounding out your top 10 will be Cheryl Williford and Troy Torgerson, the Rookie of the Year in the Cup Series.
Starting in row number 6, Kevin Rupert and Michael Watts. Dale Nearad all the way back in 13th starting position. 14th going to be Brian Bliss. Behind them, Wayne Grossi, Josh Mayhew will make up row number 8. Row number 9, Adam Newton and Richie Coy. And row number 10, Kenneth Schultz and Gil Gott.
You can see the rest of them: Benedict, Solari, Bartel, Sweeting, Ballard, Torrey, Lang, and Figueroa winding out your field, and Loomis as well, as we have a little bit of a shorter lap here as you see the guys all fanning out down this straightaway. Chris, it's going to be a big race. Pull the belts tight for one last time in the Full Throttle Sim Racing season. The last time for the Gen 6 cars. The last time for, a lot of things. And here we go. Flagman has the flag up. Green flag is out here at Phoenix.
That it is, Jared, and Bobby Terrell wasting no time trying to get around the 06 machine there. Bringing with him, though, Casey McMullen right on his tail.
Bobby Terrell looking out the back of that HendrickCars.com number 5 for Wayne Grossi. He's going to hold down the bottom. Casey McMullen charging to second place. Behind them, we got Adam Newton. That's Bernard Person. Apologies. He's charging his way to third. So the 3 of our 4 drivers already in the top 3, Chris.
That they are. Del Nearad already +1, back now in 12th position, losing it to Mike Watts, though. He's got a long ways to come, but this is still a long race. But he'll have to pick and choose how he's going to get away around these other cars on the track.
There you go. Oh, we got somebody loose. That's Jason Spear. He saves it off the corner, and there he is, the 83 machine. I don't know if he hit it. Yeah, he did hit it. He did hit the inside wall. Heavy damage to the number 83 for Spear Motorsports, but that is not going to get us under caution. Back up front, it's Terrell, McMullen, Person. In the meantime of all that going on, Dale Nearad moved to the high side, gained 2 spots. He's up to 11th.
That he is, but up front, Bobby Terrell already pulling a 4/10 of a lead over Casey McMullen. It's another 3/10 back to Bernard Person.
Here they come off that turn number 4, you could say. Look at them already single filed out. We do have a little bit of battling going on. Brian Bliss on the outside of Wayne Grossi. A couple other drivers back there as well. But Chris, you look at this track. We've watched these guys 37 times before this. We don't know much about the new Phoenix. We could go back to the old results. But what kind of track does this favor a driver here? Or what driver does this track favor, I should say?
It's really about a driver that can be able to save those tires, Jared. With a track like this, we're expecting long green flag runs. Well, I'm expecting long green flag runs here. And I think numerous drivers here are as well, as I saw a lot of them practicing pit entry for tonight's race. So for me, I think one of the biggest things about this track is going to be racing the track itself as far as where the grip is, because you're going to see it change throughout the race as different drivers try different lines. Right now, back and deep in the field, you've got Richie Coy in that 19. He's almost on the wall coming through a couple of the corners. So it's interesting to see what these drivers are doing as he's trying to battle around Adam Newton. But then most everyone else pretty much locked to that yellow line in the majority of the corners.
And the Xfinity race, we had that at Full Throttle Sim Racing on Thursday night. And I can tell you that a lot of drivers, including myself, ran very close to that wall on 3 and 4. And that could be the difference maker in the Cup car. But right now, it is Bobby Terrell, McMullen, and Person, your 3 of your 4 championship contenders in your top 3, led by Darren Bruce, Ralph Nolan Jr. What a season Ralph had. Having a good run here tonight to kind of have it end on his season. Sure, Williford up 3 spots into 6. Lane Allen, Torgeson, Hannah, who's dropped 5, and Mike Watts, your top 10, just ahead of Dale Nearad, who is, Chris, he doesn't look like he's quite got a handle on the car right now, but I'm sure with the help of Brian Helm and Jesse Schwartz down there kind of coaching him through this, I think they're probably going to make some adjustments.
Absolutely, you can definitely see that coming as he's got quite a bit of ways to be able to break into the top 10 there. Mike Watts has almost about a second on him, so a lot of distance between him and that 10th place position, but even still, that's still last in our championship 4 right now. Terrell, McMullen, Person, your 1, 2, 3.
We'll look back through the rest of these guys. Mike Watts having a good run for him, up 2 spots there. Wayne Grossi, he just got eliminated last week, but Wayne has been such a consummate professional all season long, and we are under caution. And it's Tony Solari in the 74 car, apologies. He has gotten loose. Doesn't look like he's got any damage, so let's take a look and see what happened to the 74.
The worst part about the dog leg, Jared, that's what happened here to Tony Solari in that 74 machine.
Yeah, it looks like he thought maybe Jason Spear was going to cut it. Jason Spear didn't, and the hole was well occupied. Heavy impact for both of those drivers. So Jason Spear caught up in a couple of different things. I don't think he got too much damage out of that one, but does have some left front damage, unfortunately, on that number 83 machine. Kevin Rupert from 11th place, Chris, he has decided to come down pit road, but he is the only driver in your top 15 to do so. Everybody else is coming in. Chuck Sweeting coming in from back in 23rd position. So a lot of the guys toward the back, but Rupert coming in from 10th, or 11th, apologies.
That he is, maybe just trying to get a little bit of adjustment to his car. Didn't seem like he was having much fun at the moment, but he had made his way, or had been able to maintain around the 11th position. Now going to be mired back in traffic, but interesting thing going on here. You know, we expected there to be long green flag runs, or at least I did. This shake things up, as these drivers, they kind of had shown a little bit of speed early on, at least the 5 of Bobby Terrell had. Now all that's erased. It's going to put those 3 of the 4 championship 4 right there together again.
At pit stop, Mayu took 2 tires. James Torrey, no tires in the 2 machine, as he has having some connection issues. Kevin Rupert, a full stop. Chuck Sweeting, not sure, maybe he got some damage, but a very awkward time for him at 11.63. It's not quite a 2-tire stop and not quite a 4-tire stop, so not 100% sure what they did on the 75 machine. But Chris, you said it, the top 3 are your championship contenders. They are highlighted in gray, the only ones remaining in that group. We look down the rest of this field, and you know, you look, so many different drivers have been out here this year, Chris. Adam Newton up for 2 positions, but you look at some of these guys. Mark Figueroa already up 7 spots. Chad Lang up 7 spots. Steve Loomis in the 17 machine up 7 spots. So some guys are coming forward.
That they are, Jared, and even though this is the championship race, that doesn't mean these drivers are going to pull over and let the championship go, or championship drivers go around them. They want to get up here and win, and we've seen it throughout this playoffs that you've had non-playoff drivers battling just as hard to get a win as we get ready to go green.
So here they go down the front, the old front straightaway. Bobby Terrell will lead him down, and Bernard Person on the inside there. Terrell taking the outside line with McMullen having to go to the inside. Love that paint scheme that he has on that vehicle. Here we go, coming off turn number 3 to get this thing restarted. And green flag is back out here at Phoenix.
Once again, Bobby Terrell able to get a good start there. Chose the outside lane here, and that's going to put Casey McMullen right underneath him going into 1. The big difference maker is now Casey McMullen looks to try to get around the 5.
McMullen trying to go to the front. The inside line's been tough on the bottom all week long. And can he make it stick down into turn 1? Terrell arcs it a little bit high, gets down in it. Bernard, contact between the leaders, and the leaders have slid it, and they save it. Bernard Person sneaks through.
That put the 5 in the 71 in terrible position, as both of those drivers now have fell to the back of this pack. Now they're going to have to whittle their way back up there and figure out exactly what it's going to take to get back around this traffic, Jared. And wow, incredible moment by both of those drivers. I don't think either one of them hit anything except for each other.
Yeah, we'll have to get a replay on that as soon as we're able to do so, Chris. But my goodness, I don't think I saw that coming.
No, not at all. But that just goes to show how hard these drivers are racing for this championship. Pretty much all for bragging rights, but still, that's something that you want here tonight.
So we got the replay up. Let's take a look and see what happened from the chopper cam. Let's go to the chopper cam. Here we go. Coming down into turn number 1. So you see Bernard Person. He's on the back of it. McMullen right down there at the yellow line, and he starts to he just kind of washed up there. Maybe got a little bit loose. Terrell may have come down. I think they just kind of were going for the same real estate there, but Terrell was able to kind of get going. McMullen had to kind of lock it down to get going again, but that's going to be beneficial for Bernard Person, the defending champion. He moves to the lead. Nearad also moving forward. He's up to 9th.
He is moving up to 9th, but just got passed by Richie Coy. Really, it seems like that number 03's got a lot of work to be up here and be competitive tonight.
Richie Coy up 9 spots and fluctuating between 9 and 10. He's working the bottom groove just a little bit there in 1 and 1 and 2. We're going to go struggle with that all night long. But Chris, you know how Bobby Terrell and Casey McMullen, I mean, these guys are two very clean drivers. You rarely see anything happen but with them in terms of wrecks. But is that a product of this playoff format? These guys just going for the real estate there?
Well, absolutely. And both of these drivers know that they've got to be up here and battling and leading to be able to win this championship. We've seen it. I mean, already with our first 18 laps, it was 1, 2, 3. So these drivers, they knew their competition was right there. And the best time to make up positions or time on another driver is going to be on a restart. Unfortunately for those two, they were a little bit too close for comfort. Both of them, though, able to keep going, but certainly a lot harder race for them than they would have imagined.
You're exactly right, Chris. And that's going to be something we'll have to keep an eye on as this race goes on. Right now, we have Troy Torgerson battling Darren Bruce for second place. Move Torgerson in the 98 machine up into that position as Bruce lets him go on the inside there, trying to get maybe the undercut. Doesn't quite do it. And nobody's really cutting through the course here tonight. Not entirely sure what layout they're running. It's a little bit hard to tell, but I do believe they are actually running the open leg, but nobody's going down there right now. Williford up to fourth, Lane Allen to fifth. He's got Mike Watts and Ralph Nolan on his back bumper, and Dale Nearad is able to clear Richie Coy and move him up to 8th place.
Jared, one thing that is noticeable up front, though, Bernard Persson not able to really leave the drivers behind him. Torgerson just within 2/10 behind him, not able to pull away. But at this point, he doesn't need to pull away. He's in the catbird seat. If anyone else in the championship 4 is going to take it away from him, they have to get up here and get around him. So right now, even if he loses a couple of positions or loses the lead to Torgerson or Bruce or Williford, doesn't matter. He's still, right now, your championship points leader.
Exactly right. Here right now, as you see Coy doing everything he can. Richie Coy, really, he's going out there and trying to win this race. I mean, Richie very good on the short and flat tracks. That's kind of his background up there in the New England Midget Sprint Association that he competes in. I believe he finished second in that championship, so congrats to him on that one, which is a real-life championship, in case anybody might not have heard of that one. But right now up front, it's Bernard Persson, apologies. Troy Torgerson, though, he has come to life, and he is starting to move forward, Chris.
That he is. Every so often, he's able to inch his way closer. As Brody Hanna behind them also gets loose coming out of the corner, keeps it on the inside wall, looks to keep it green for the moment.
Hanna, significant damage to the left front, apologies, to that 23 machine, and he is still trying to get that car moving, trying to get out of the way of the traffic, it looks like. And now he's up to speed again, but good save by Brody Hanna there, but tough break for him as well. Up front, battle for the lead. Torgerson looking underneath the 8 car of Bernard Persson.
Catching and passing are two different things. As Torgerson gets really loose in the middle of the corner there, that's going to give Bernard Persson a little bit of leeway. Has a much bigger lead now than he did a couple laps ago on Torgerson, now up to 4/10.
These guys continuing to battle here. Darren Bruce in there. Everybody's kind of packed up. Nobody's really found a separation here yet on the field between these guys.
And it's interesting to see, looking through the field, all the different drivers taking different lines, different approach to this track, Jared. We talked about it, that a lot of these different drivers were going to be going to either to the wall or to the apron. Bernard Persson, he's kind of got his own little groove going up way high going into 3 and 4, in 1 and 2. And then in 3 and 4, he's really low on the track. So it's interesting to see just the difference that he's running on this track.
I'm going to bring up the track map. We finally got this thing working. So first place, 8th place, 17th, and 18th are shown on the screen right now. 17th and 18th fairly close together, so they're kind of overlapped right now. But kind of shows you where Bobby Terrell, Casey McMullen is on the track compared to Bernard Persson and Dale Nearad. So we'll keep that updated as the race goes on, so you guys can know where those guys are at on the track. But right now, you look at the lead. It's all Bernard Persson, who did not have a good spring race here. He was out early, 25 laps into the race. But tonight, looking very, very good.
That he is still able to maintain that lead over Torgerson. Still about 3/10 of a second, almost 4/10 at times in the corner. So it's interesting to see what these drivers are doing. Those behind him, Torgerson's got a completely different line and approach to the corners than Bernard Persson does, and I think that's why he's able to inch his way closer at the moment.
These guys continuing to battle as the race goes on, but we look at Dale Nearad checking in on him. He's kind of in a little bit of a kind of a blockage there. Mike Watts and Ralph Nolan Jr. battling pretty hard. That is a battle for 6th position. Best run Mike Watts has had so far this season at a non-road course. So, I mean, he is doing good, but that Ralph Nolan tried to make a pass on him, and that's going to open the door for Dale Nearad to look on the outside.
And Jared, it's interesting to see how these drivers are having to work around each other. Richie Coy wanted to get inside Dale Nearad, was unable to do so, and then Dale Nearad used that outside lane to get around Nolan there. So just an interesting tactic that these drivers are having to do to move around. Once you break the momentum of a driver, it's a little bit easier to get around them, especially if you're on the outside where you're able to get out of the corner a little bit faster.
Ralph Nolan up the track, and Richie Coy and Wayne Grossi going to look underneath of him, but gets a good run off the corners. We look out. Oh, a contact between the 19 of Richie Coy and Ralph Nolan Jr., and Nolan going to drop back.
Yeah, that 19's got a little bit of spoiler damage on the back of that machine, but now it's really going to hurt. Whoa, as Mike Watts gets loose coming out of the corner. These corners, Jared, they're proving to be a little bit tricky for these drivers.
We've seen Brody Hanna. He is down and away off pit road, by the way. He is going to be several laps down. Brian Bliss damaged. He is out of the race, it does appear like right now in his final Gen 6 start for him. So there you go. Dale Nearad, though, he is looking, smells blood in the water with Mike Watts getting loose off turn number 2 that time, or last time by. Didn't do it this time by, but he is moving forward.
He certainly is, but unfortunately, Jared, he got into the corner a little bit too hot and had to check up in the middle of the corner and just really didn't gain any time to Mike Watts in that 3.
Looking back at Bobby Terrell, checking in on him, he's gotten around Chuck Sweeting, move him back to 16th position. Casey McMullen, he has gotten around the 91 machine of Kenneth Schultz, a little bit different paint scheme than we're used to out of the 901. I have to look at that one more in detail because it looks very interesting, but Casey Mullen up into 18th position after their contact, but not moving forward as much as Bobby Terrell is. Terrell now underneath his teammate, that is TJ Bartel. Likely TJ going to let him go as soon as he can, but and there he goes. He does let him go in the corner, but it's kind of blockaded in. And we got Chad Lang and Gil Gach battling right in front of him.
And Gil Gach actually got into the wall a couple of laps ago, Jared, right in front of Bobby Terrell, and Terrell let out of it, didn't try to get any momentum coming out of the corner just to be sure that everything was okay. Now he's settled back in, going to be looking to get around that 85 machine, but the right front of that machine got a little bit of damage on the 85.
Gil Gach there, former part of that Wayne Grossi Motorsports team at the beginning of the year, then moved on to his own team at Gator Racing with Chuck Sweeting. Those cars kind of running side by, or kind of in the same area there. McMullen checking in on this battle now. Gil Gach going to move up to the high side as Bobby Terrell checks underneath of him. Right now, the lead up front, Bernard Persson with a almost 2/10 of a lead. So we'll check back in on that one if that does change. But we want to watch these guys, playoff drivers, try to make their way through the field. Now it's Casey Mullen's turn, and he is underneath TJ Bartel trying to make a move there. And he's got to work his way through some tough traffic. Bobby Terrell's now got clean air ahead of him.
That he does, Jared. It's really hurting him, at least pace-wise here, as he's having to work around. And Gil Gach really not giving him any room here. You can see it kind of went down and kind of blocked the 71's momentum into the corner there. That's going to give TJ Bartel the momentum coming out of it. But Casey McMullen, he's still fighting the handling of that car. You saw right there, he got a little bit loose in the middle of that dogleg.
And TJ's here to race. I mean, he is out here trying to, this is what he has already said, his final Cup Series race. He is not going to be racing Cup anymore. Saw him post about that the other day. He not a big fan of the next gen car. Doesn't really want to go into that one, but he's going to focus on other endeavors in the future. So winding up his Cup Series career in FTSR most likely, and in general on the iRacing service. So TJ Bartel, class act, but I'm sure we'll see him around the track and other things. As Brody Hanna looked like maybe gotten loose on the bottom again underneath Kenneth Schultz, but with that damaged car, but it looks like he was able to keep it out of the wall. And Chris, the other thing I was going to say is, you know, TJ Bartel, he's teammates with Bobby Terrell. I mean, he's not going to lay over and let Casey McMullen just walk his way through here.
No, not at all. And I think that's a bit of what we're seeing here as Gil Gach and now TJ Bartel are basically side by side. And Casey McMullen, he's really just trapped behind them, Jared, not able to really make it work. And you can see now he's got Brody Hanna right behind him as well. Brody Hanna got those fresher tires. He's a little bit faster than these guys, but the problem is...
Oh, he's loose and into Brody Hanna. And that is going to bring out a yellow flag. Almost incident there with some drivers coming through. But my goodness, Chris, we were right on top of that when it happened.
And what a heartbreak for Casey McMullen. He already had a difficult night ahead, but now it's going to be just that much harder as now he has damage to the left side as well as the right.
He just gets loose there. Oh, he just and slams Brody kind of hard there. And then you see Josh Mayu, the smoke clears, and there's the 71 car just kind of sitting there. So he was very close to getting involved in that wreck, but I don't think that's going to hurt him that much, Chris. Everybody on pit road, though.
The one thing that's going to do is bunch these drivers back up again, Jared. Here we're going to see all these drivers basically coming to get fresh tires so that they don't lose that momentum. Tires here make a pretty substantial difference even after 40 laps, so it'll be interesting to see where these drivers come out. Right now, Bernard Persson, your leader, into the pits, but will he be able to maintain will be the question.
Looks like James Torrey stays out. He's going to take the wave around. Tony Solari will be your lucky dog, and Brody Hanna will also take a wave around to get his lap back. We're only down one driver. Started with 29. We have 28 out here. Brian Bliss, the only driver officially out. We have the pit lane cam up. Here we go. Bernard Persson trying to beat Troy Torgerson off pit road. He does that, followed by Torgerson, Bruce, Allen, Williford, Grossi with a great stop, Coy, Newton, Rupert, Nearad, Terrell, and others after that. Chris, a good stop by Wayne Grossi. Unbelievable. Up 5 positions on pit road.
Definitely incredible there for that number 7 machine, Jared. It's going to be interesting to see this restart, how things get shaken up. Persson was definitely your leader, but Torgerson was right there with him on his bumper. It'll be interesting to see if he has the short run speed to get out up in front of Persson here as we go back green.
Torgerson just wanting to end the year on a high note, wanting to win. By the way, something we didn't talk about. FTSR has raced Phoenix 9 times. Tonight will be the 10th time they've raced Phoenix. No repeat winners. We have had 9 different winners in all those races, if you can believe it. In the race tonight with wins here, Bobby Terrell, Dale Nearad, Bernard Persson, Brody Hanna, all active drivers that are in the race tonight with wins. Unlikely that Brody Hanna will win this race tonight, but still have an opportunity for Terrell, Nearad, and Persson. And you look at that common denominator, Chris, 3 of those names I said, they are in the playoffs.
That they are. One of them winning a year ago at this racetrack. That was Bernard Persson. He's your leader here at the moment. Certainly knows how to get around this track, even if it isn't a little different configuration. But he's certainly showing that he's got the pace so far here tonight. And why shouldn't he, Jared? I mean, really, he's kind of gotten out front, and the clean air has really helped that 8 machine. All he's got to really do, stay in front of 3 other cars.
You make it sound so easy, Chris, but we know how difficult it is. Well, tonight is the end of an era. It is the last Gen 6 race for all intents and purposes in FTSR as they look to move to the next gen car, likely move to the next gen car. And you want to look at some statistics here. The all-time winner, Dean Doucette, he will end the Gen 6 era with 19 wins. Nobody will be able to catch him with a win tonight. So he has got that. Persson and Hanna tied with 15 all-time wins there in second place. So we'll keep you up to date on some stats as the night goes on as we end the Gen 6 era at full throttle sim racing. Pace car is off, but they have a long way around here. 44 laps down, 156 total, and we will get these guys going back green here in just a moment.
And Jared, looking at your championship for Persson first, Dale Nearad back now in 11th, 12th, Bobby Terrell, and way further back is going to be Casey McMullen.
Green flag back out here at Phoenix, and a good start by Troy Torkson. He's going to pull even with Bernard Person into the dog leg.
That he does. Person gets a little bit of advantage going through the dog leg, diving down into the corner. He's going to maintain the lead. Torgerson going all the way high, looking to get the momentum out of the corner there to pull alongside the 8 again.
Bruce slides up in front of Allen, and that opens the door for Williford to look underneath Grossi as the drivers head down into turn number 1. Torgerson a little bit late on the brakes, but he's on the back bumper of Person coming to the line.
He certainly was, Jared. A little bit of a block there by that 8 machine, all in good fun. Knows he's got to keep that position. There's a wreck behind him. Kevin Rupert in the number 1. He's around, Jared.
And looks like maybe he was the only driver involved. That car has already gone back to pits, so we'll have to see what happened with Kevin Rupert.
And it's going to involve another one of your championship drivers, or at least right there. Yeah, Bobby Terrell in the 5 machine. That's who actually gets into the 1.
And that's a 3-wide circumstance. Looks like maybe some contact with Chad Lang that got him down. And I can't believe nobody hit him when he came back up on the track like that. Let's take another look at this from the chopper cam. The chopper, probably Goodyear, I'm sure, is up there with that or whatever. But here we go. Chad Lang. Yeah, I don't know if there's contact, but it definitely spooked the 1. Nowhere Bobby Terrell could go. That's a tough incident. Jason Spear very lucky there that he didn't get collected as Rupert came back up the track. So that's going to put us under our 3rd caution of the night, Chris. And we've seen this happen so many times. We have some green flag racing, and then we start getting some yellow flags, and all of a sudden that attrition, that excitement, that aggression starts to ramp up a little bit.
And Jared, the 71 machine of Casey McMullen, he was in the back of the pack here. He checked up really hard to make sure he didn't get involved in it. And you can see it from his perspective. He had no idea where that 1 was going to stop. And so he kind of waited to the last minute to decide to duck down low and get around him.
You see that damage on the left front from that earlier contact with the 23 machine there. But Chris, you look at this Gen 6 era, not just at FTSR, but in general, how will you remember this Gen 6 era as a car in the NASCAR Cup Series?
That is a difficult question, Jared. I mean, the biggest thing will be the different horsepower packages that we've seen with this car and all the different years that it's come through. The one thing that I think that's going to be the most memorable, though, is certain drivers that retired. I mean, you've got Tony Stewart, Clint Boyer, Jeff Gordon, Jimmy Johnson, all those drivers that this was their last car. They're not racing in the next gen. Well, Clint kind of got to, but from what I understood, he was 3rd in that little race between him, Tony Stewart, and Dale Jr. So it's really interesting as far as that goes. It'll be the last car that has the number in the center of the door from here on out. It'll be a little bit farther forward, closer to that front tire. So that'll be different. The spoilers will be different. The sound of these cars is going to be completely different going into next year. So this will be the last time that you hear a stock car sound like these right here.
Exactly right. And, we would be remiss. All-time starts leader in the FTSR Cup Series coming into tonight's race. Bernard Person, he will have that for the Gen 6 era. All FTSR races have been in the Cup Series have been with the Gen 6 car. So Bernard Person, the most starts. Dean Doucette, he's going to get the most poles with an impressive 24 of those. Top 5s, Bernard Person, and top 10s, also Bernard Person. But Sure Williford could tie him tonight if Bernard Person does not finish the top 10. Sure Williford, Mr. Top 10, he's gotten a bunch of them in his career. But Chris, you look at it, I mean, you talk about this championship, that's what's really going to come down to. And Bernard Person, he's won a few of these Cup Series champions. Is that something on his mind, knowing that this is the last one that he gets as far as the Gen 6 car?
At this point, I don't think that's what he's thinking about. He's just thinking about how to get that next championship with this car. At the moment, right now, it's still able to do so, staying up front. I just don't think he's thinking about this being the end of the era yet. At this point, he wants to think about starting the next era with the championship title.
Two-time Cup Series champion in 2019 B and 2020 C, the defending Cup Series champion. Pace car is off. And again, they have a long, long way down into the turn. Bernard Person and Torgerson will lead him down Nearad is in 10th, Terrell 13th, McMullen 24th. That's your championship for contenders as we get ready to go back to green. 50 laps in, 106 to go. Rolling off the corner, and green flag is back out here at Phoenix. Another good start from Torgerson on the outside.
Absolutely, just able to get the power into the corner, or out of the corner into the dog leg. They're a little bit better than it seems the Bernard Person's able to do so. But Bernard Person making that bottom groove work, and now he's going to clear Torgerson on the backstretch.
Wow, look at these guys coming off the wall. Very close up there as Bernard Person to the lead. Torgerson to second place. Behind them, 3 wide. Williford up the track. Coy in the middle. And they back out.
Taking that high groove there, trying to carry the momentum out of the corner there a little bit better, trying to improve on that 4th place position. Now looking underneath Darren Bruce in the 06.
Coy got loose under braking. Looks like somebody got in the back of him at some point in time, and he has got some crinkled up rear end, but he is trying to keep that car going, and it looks like that car might have some handling issues because of it. But right now, up front, it's Person, Torgerson, Bruce, your top 3. Williford, Coy. Let's take a look at Dale Nearad. He's back there in 9th spot as he is behind his teammate Adam Newton and Wayne Grossi. Mike Watts right behind him as well.
Bobby Terrell caught up in a little bit of a traffic jam, lost a couple of spots on that last restart, now back in the 13th position, restarted 11th.
On board Bobby Terrell, and you see it. He's got Chuck Sweeting there, Chad Lang there, Dale Nearad's there, Wayne Grossi, Mike Watts. I mean, he's got the whole party's in front of him, Chris.
But one thing to note, he is there, Jared. He's catching up on Dale Nearad after having that contact with the 71 of Casey McMullen that took them both back in the back of the pack. Unfortunately, Casey McMullen, he's not seeming to be able to rebound quite as well after contact again later. With
wrecking! Darren Bruce has gotten into Troy Torgerson. Lane Allen is involved. Wayne Grossi's involved. And right where you were talking, Chris, we went back to look at the battle for second place, and Darren Bruce looked like he may have washed up the track into the 98 machine. Let's take a replay look at that one. So here we go, up into the corner. Yeah, he gets loose under braking, slides up the track, wheel hop, and then hits Troy, and then kind of finishes him off. Wayne Grossi tries to avoid the wreck, runs right into the door of Torgerson. I don't know how much damage is on that 98 machine, though. Lane Allen, I think, got the worst of it.
And Jared, this is another opportunity for those championship four that had to get around that incident there, as that happened pretty much in front of everyone except for Bernard Person. So you had a lot of drivers that had to maneuver around that, including Bobby Terrell, who definitely was coming to the party a little bit later than the rest of them, but certainly had to maneuver around.
Tough break for Lane Allen. He's had so many good runs this year, but then just been caught up in some incidents that were outside of his control. But that would put us under another caution. That's going to bring Sherwood Williford up to the front. Now, Sherwood Williford, Chris, he's not in the playoffs, but interesting stat for those at home maybe playing along with our stat game. He has won at least one race in every single Cup Series season he has participated in, except this year, and his first one. So he is on a 6-season run of winning a race, and if he doesn't win tonight, that run will be over.
That it will, and he's definitely shown he's had speed as he was up in that 4th position as these two wrecked in front of him. So it's certainly interesting to see him coming down, but he may be thinking about pitting one more time after this and no more. So that may be something to keep an eye on as he's making some adjustments to that 33. But I want to give a kudos to Dale Nearad from this caution. Wayne Grossi elected to go low. He elected to go high with Adam Newton. He gets through. Wayne Grossi gets collect.
Wayne Grossi on pit road as is Casey McMullen. So Casey McMullen, Chris, he's still getting damage repaired, or he's playing strategy game at this point in time. 100 laps to go. We think they can do 80 laps, I think is what I had heard, around 80 laps. So there's still another pit stop in this game. Casey McMullen, wily veteran, can make some savings out there. Is he thinking about maybe stretching this thing to the end?
I think Casey's actually in there getting repairs done to that machine. He was a little bit down on some horsepower. It sounded like when I was riding on board with him, Jared. But still a smart move. He may be able to get this thing and sneak it just on strategy if we can get a long green flag runs going here and not have another caution.
So the incident was between our second and third place drivers, Bruce and Torgerson. That also collected our fifth place driver, Lane Allen, and Wayne Grossi, our sixth place driver. So the top 10 has shooken up a little bit. So Person is your leader, Williford second, Coy, Bruce, Adam Newton, a driver who I think has got a lot of potential in his career moving forward. Fairly new to the iRacing service, and he has already started to really show some potential. He's in fifth. Dale Nearad, he has made it through. Like you said, Chris, he's up to sixth. Watts, Lang, Sweeting, and guess who's in the top 10? Bobby Terrell.
Yeah, that worked out real well for Nearad and for Terrell, as they were able to leapfrog a lot of different drivers here and get themselves that much closer to Person in that 8 machine.
Bernard Person there looking on the inside. He's going to take the inside. So we saw Bobby Terrell on his 2 restarts. He took the outside. On Bernard Person's 2 restarts, he has taken the inside, Chris. And right now I haven't decided which is the better one.
No, I don't think there's been a clear, definite answer on that. You saw Torgerson, he was basically dead even with Person the last 2 restarts on that outside lane. So it's hard to call about whether or not which lane is actually better here as we get ready to go green. Long ways away from the Geico restart zone as that pace car gets off here. Leaves a lot of drivers time to think right here going to the restart zone, Jared.
Boy, does it. Person and Williford, former teammates there on the front row. They'll lead him down inside the restart zone, past the restart zone, but green flag comes out, and we are back underway at Phoenix. Good start by Williford on the outside, but he's going to tuck in behind Person. Doesn't quite have that acceleration that we saw out of Torgerson.
Yeah, Jared, I think watching these restarts, I think it might actually be better if the leader's on the outside because you're able to start the momentum there a little bit more, maybe able to pull away a little bit more. So that'd be interesting to see as this race progresses. But right now, Bernard Person able to make it work and get up here in the lead. Already got a 0.4 of a second lead, 0.5 of a second lead over Williford, who's side by side with Coy.
Darren Bruce got very loose on entry, almost got in the back end of Richie Coy right in front of Dale Nearad, who slides to the outside. He has moved around his teammate Adam Newton, so moved Nearad up into 5th place. And Chris, maybe if you can help me out a little bit. Never mind, I figured out myself. That is a blue stripe, not damage on that hood. It was very confusing for a second.
That it was. While you were talking, Jared, Williford and Coy made contact. Neither one of them got too much damage from it, but now Richie Coy seems to have lost a little bit of momentum in that 19 as he's trying to assess how much damage he's got to now the front side of that machine to go along with the rear end damage.
That rear end damage will definitely screw up the handling of the car, but Darren Bruce fighting back on the outside there. Nearad is there as well. Coy just wants to win. I know that Richie is kind of down on a little bit on himself. I mean, he was in the championship 4 in the Truck Series, finished 4th there, finished 2nd in the Xfinity Series after being the regular season champion. I think he just wants to go out on a high note, but he has been bullied around here tonight just a little bit, as we almost may have a battle for the lead as Williford looking underneath that number 8 machine, just can't quite get the run off the corner.
Yeah, and he's trying a little bit different line than Person in that 8 machine, able to get a lot of better momentum out of the corner in 1 and 2 than Person, and that got him right up to the bumper Person. But Person seems to be a little bit better in the dog leg in 3 and 4.
While all that was going on, Chris, Bobby Terrell has moved his way from 10th at the start of the restart there up to 7th place. He is now past Chuck Sweeting and Adam Newton. He sets his sights on his teammate Mike Watts, and Dale Nearad will be the next 2 up.
Nearad's watching the 3 and now the 5 in his rear view mirror and now knows he's got to be able to start getting pressure on Richie Coy in front of him. But Richie Coy seems to be taking a little bit of a gap on the 03 machine as he's racing side by side with Darren Bruce even.
Darren Bruce trying to hold on to that podium position. Coy chucks back in line. Nearad has lost a little bit of time to this group. He has checked into 3rd, and now Mike Watts deep into the corner. So Nearad, that car, the handling is just not as, I don't think, where he wants us. We got a battle for 3rd place. Coy looking underneath Darren Bruce.
And it's interesting to see, not only do we have a battle for third, which sorts itself out, we have a side-by-side action going on as the 8 and 33. 33 is able to get alongside Bernard Person in, I believe that's 1 and 2, Jared, but still not able, sorry, that's 3 and 4, but not able to make anything out of it coming out of the corner here. So it's interesting to see these two battling pretty much side-by-side, running about equal lap times. Sherwood maybe just a little bit quicker.
While that was going on, Chris, Bobby Terrell gets around Mike Watts, move him up to 6th place, and now he's on the back bumper of the 0-3. So we have 2 championship contenders knocking on the door of the top 5. Bernard Person continuing to lead over Sherwood Williford. Hoy has checked himself into 3rd. Darren Bruce in 4th. Those guys not championship drivers, but now the championship wick, the excitement can be turned back up just a little bit, Chris.
That it definitely can, Jared, as now Terrell looks to the inside of Nearad, coming through 1 and 2.
Loses that momentum down the back straightaway there, but definitely gets it back going into this corner. And he's going to have a good run coming into 3 and 4, but he's going to have to make it work on the inside, which is going to be difficult.
That he is, Jared, and we can see these drivers working really hard to get around one another. Bobby Terrell looks like he can drive into the corner a little bit better than the 03, but the 03 on the outside lane is able to get the momentum out of the corner and draw back even clear the 5 machine. So it's certainly interesting to see how these two drivers are unable to really make a move on each other. Now Bobby Terrell switching to that outside groove as he's going to try something different to try to get around the 03.
Trying to get a longer maybe swing into turn 3 here. He's going to follow Nearad up the track.
And Nearad changes his line here just a little bit in the corner, realizing what Bobby Terrell's doing. It's interesting to see these two battling and trying to just maintain position there for Nearad. He's kind of doing pretty much any blocking that he could possibly do without intentionally losing speed.
We talked to him before the race. He didn't rate his chances highly, Chris, but he is doing it. Richie Coy, on the other hand, he is getting through on the outside of Sherwood Wilford, moved the 19 machine to the lead, or to the second place, apologies.
And now Bobby Terrell dead even with the 03 again coming out of the corner, still not able to get the run out of the corner. A little bit of damage to that 5 machine is making it a little bit harder for him to handle, I believe.
I want to check in on Casey McMullen. He has moved up 5 positions since the restart, up to 20th place. He's got about a second up the road to his next competitor, who was in a big gaggle of cars. James Torrey, Tony Solari, Steve Loomis, and Randall Ballard all back here racing. So that's where Casey McMullen just got through that group, and 3 wide behind him, as James Torrey and Tony Solari may have used each other a little bit to make the corner. Solari moves up. That is a battle for 21st position. Loomis is going to open up the door and go on by as well. Slides up the track in front of Torrey. Torrey lets him have it.
And you're watching the battle between the 5 and the 03 machine. Terrell seems to be able to get a little bit better run, inching his way a little bit farther along, but still not able to complete the pass. Jared, at this point, if you're that number 5 machine, you've already had contact with another championship driver. What's going through your head as you're trying to make this difficult pass in the 03?
He's got a good inside right now. He's there now this time, but we got caution out. And I don't know what it's for.
It looks like it's something to do with Chad Lang as he dropped several positions right at the yellow.
Let's see if we can see what happened. It does appear like it might be Chad Lang here. So here he is. He's in front of Bill Benedict, behind TJ Bartel. He's going through the corner. And he just loops it. Oh, and he overcorrects it. And good job by Torgerson and Figueroa. A couple other drivers to avoid that. Just kind of a lazy spin there. No harm, no foul. But that's going to put us under our 5th caution of the night.
That it is. If he had made that cut to the left and not overcorrected that car, we might have been able to stay green here. But luckily for him, no one collected that four machine after that slide, after coming back up on the racing surface there. So kudos for the rest of the field being able to get around the 4 machine.
Hey, look at our pit road camera. Pace car very lonely. Brody Hanna will stay out. Wayne Grassi stays out. Both those drivers laps down, trying to get their laps back. Brody Hanna is the lucky dog. But everybody else on the lead lap, Chris, they're down on pit road.
That they are. We've had a little bit of a run here. These drivers now itching for fresh tires to get back up here.
So Hannah, Allen, and Grossi are the 3 drivers that stayed out. Like I said, Hannah is the lucky dog. He'll get another lap back. Lane Allen may pit, may not. And here we go, race off pit road. Bernard Person's going to barely beat Coy off. Then it's going to be Bruce, Nearad, Sweeting with a good stop. Terrell, McMullen with a good stop. And Williford. Where did Casey Mullen come from?
What an incredible stop by that 71 bunch to get him back up inside the top 10.
And Chris, looking at our pit board times. Let's bring that up. Let's bring it up because that's where the difference is, folks. It is, looks like Casey McMullen. There you see it on the screen. 6-second stop for the 71 machine. I don't think that's a tire stop at all.
If that's a tire stop, it's when we have single lugs, Jared, because he definitely took 2 tires there at most, trying to get the track position here, just because he thinks it's that much more valuable than possibly 4 tires.
Well, he came in on 68, so he's only been out here on 7 lap old tires. To be fair to Casey, so I like that call. Come in, get yourself some fuel, maybe hope for another caution. I mean, I like the move. You got to try something. And Casey Mullen, he always has something up his sleeve. He's a thinking guy, and he always comes up with something. You got everybody else down here through here, Chris, pretty much the same times. We got the fastest time was Richie Coy, 14.5. Sorry, Josh Mayu at 14.2. So he had the fastest inside the top 15 there. So it looks like Grossi.
You're right. I definitely like the strategy call of the 71 machine, just taking, and it actually looks like, Jared, he didn't take any tires. He just got fuel.
Yeah, I thought that 6 seconds was awfully quick. So, yeah, fuel only. It may be a little damage repair, too. You know, there might have been something there as well. So that is going to be huge. Huge to see what Casey McMullen can do. And does that open the door for some other tire strategy as this race goes on? As you see Wayne Grossi and Lane Allen go ahead and head by the pace car to get one of their laps back as the wave round drivers. So it's going to be Person and Coy on the front row, and Person's going to take the inside lane again.
That he is. Coy, with that damage, has seemed to be able to figure out a way to make this number 19 machine still be just as fast as Bernard Person and a couple of these other drivers. But behind him, you've got championship contender Dale Nearad and Bobby Terrell right there in that outside groove as we get ready to go green here. The pace car now on pit road.
Coy up 16 positions into second place. Person there. Terrell and McMullen back together again. We'll keep an eye on that battle. But all of our championship contenders back inside the top 10, rolling through turn number 3 and turn number 4 to get this thing started again. Person on the inside, Coy on the outside. Green flag back out here at Phoenix.
Dead even side by side going into one with the 19 on the outside. Looks to have a little bit of a peak in front of the 8. 8 gets the momentum diving into the corner. Now the 19, though, going to have the momentum coming out of the corner, Jared.
Richie Coy side by side. McMullen falling like a rock back behind him. Person looking on the inside of Coy, and Coy's got the edge just a little bit. Dale Nearad to third place, the highest he's been up all night. And there's Bobby Terrell. So the championship 3 are back up into the tower. Coy loose through the corner, holds on to it.
Holds on to it, but gives the lead back to the number 8 machine. Is not able to keep the momentum. Soon we're going to have a battle for the 3rd position as Terrell is all over the back of Nearad.
Terrell, Nearad, Coy. Coy, the only non-playoff driver there.
Ferguson behind them, spinning out, Jared.
And we stay green. Torgerson loose off the turn. Looks like turn 3. We stay green. And he's got that car going in the right direction. But now Bernard Person able to make the crossover. He takes the lead.
Bernard Person with now 0.3 of a second lead over Coy. Back behind Nearad, able to keep the number 5 machine behind him. Terrell, though, has got a lot of momentum coming out of the corner, Jared.
He looked a little bit loose there. He's going to drive it down into 3 and 4. We've seen that this move has not paid off for Bobby Terrell most of the race, but it's early. Boy, he did a good job. Slides up the track. Contact! Oh, no, Dale Nearad's in it. TJ Bartel's in it. Bill Benedict's in it. McMullen slams on the brakes, and he somehow squeezes his way through. Unbelievable.
Unbelievable, but that is not the look that Dale Nearad wanted to have to that race car, as that thing has got white smoke pouring out of it, trying to drive it in reverse to just figure out a way to spin this car around and not lose a lap.
He's got to wait on all these drivers. There's Chuck Sweeting, so there he goes. Chuck Sweeting goes backwards and spins it. Dale Nearad's going to do a 4-point turn, but these guys should be okay. But Dale Nearad in a heap of trouble. Let's take a look and see what happened. Let's go to the chopper cam. This has been our favorite camera here tonight. And you'll see Bobby Terrell. He's on the bottom. He's just clear. And then he wasn't. He just wasn't clear. I don't know what else I can say about that one, but Dale Nearad was still very much on the outside of the number 5 machine. Another angle.
Jared, hate to be the one that has to call it on this one, but the 5 just was not clear. Went up the track. Don't know if it's because he was getting tied out of the corner or just thought that Nearad was going to back out of it and let him have the position, but certainly not the case. Dale Nearad, he's going to get the bad end of this one.
And we have to take a look at the onboard from Casey McMullen, who is going to get out of this thing unbelievably, because this is a ride that you never want to have as a driver, looking down the front straightaway. So here he is. He's behind Bill Benedict. He's up to the high side. Josh Mayhew's in this battle as well. And the wreck is going to happen right about now. So there you go. We see some cars moving down, and now he's on the brakes. He sees the smokes on the brake. Bill Benedict is locking him up in front of him. Hole opens up, and Casey McMullen, I don't know. I don't know how you get through there, but he did it.
Not only that, Jared, there were so many different times when he could have ended up in damage there. Right there at the end with Jason Spear. Jason got really close to the 71, didn't make contact, but that was pretty much after they were out of the carnage there, as those two drivers just took 2 different approaches to get through the wreck, but still somehow both made it through miraculously. But wow, what an incredible driving by the 71.
And that front straightaway, or sorry, back straightaway now, with the wall on the inside and obviously the outside wall, it is very difficult because cars kind of ricochet through there and you kind of get blocked up. And that's what happened to Bill Benedict. Heavy damage to the 90 machine. His night likely over. Troy Torgerson, he has retired from the race. Chuck Sweeting has retired from the race. So several drivers with heavy damage. And Chris, Dale Nearad, he's not out of the car, but I have to say his race is not looking very promising at this point.
Not at all, Jerry. That 03 machine looking like a modified around this track. That's good at some short tracks. May even help at some short tracks. That's not going to help here tonight.
So I don't want to call it on Dale Nearad's season, but that is, I mean, he's now 3 laps down. So it's going to be extremely difficult and unlikely at this point in time for Dale Nearad, which means we're down to just one opportunity for a repeat winner. That's Bernard Person, as pretty much everybody else either not in the race or out of the event at this point in time. So a lot of things can happen as the race goes on. We are down to 1 to go. The pace car is going to make a beeline to pit road here. 86 laps down, 156 total. We have 70 to go. Long wait with these new we got a car blinking back here. That is James Torrey, I believe, but he's got that stabled out. So here we go, back to green flag racing. Person and Coy will lead them down here tonight, and now Bobby Terrell back in the mix of things. 2 drivers behind as well. Here we go, green flag out at Phoenix.
Great restart there by the number 8 as he's able to get the power out. But now Coy going to battle back on that outside lane. Give it to Person, though, going into 1.
Person tries to slide up, but Coy sticks the nose on the outside. Coy really wanting to win this race. And what about Bobby Terrell? I mean, he got himself back up here one way or another.
That he did, but Jared, I got to give a shout out to the 8 machine right there. Had the opportunity, could have slammed the door on the 19. Just elected to play it safe here tonight and not go back in front of the 19 there. That ended up being good for him, not so good for the 19, as now he's battling with the 5 for the 2nd position.
Here comes Bobby Terrell. He is trying to get himself back up here. Oh, wrecking behind him. Gil Gach into the wall. We're going to stay green. No, yes, we are going to stay green. Terrell loses out on that battle to Richie Coy, but he's got a big run on the outside. What will Terrell do going into turn 3? Coy takes the low side. Right behind him, Darren Bruce looking to the high side. Person well up into the gray. Terrell now getting challenged by Darren Bruce. That is a battle for third place. Terrell probably doesn't want to give that spot up. Let's check in on Casey McMullen. He's back here in the gaggle. Brody Hanna in front of him. Brody's still a lap down. Jason Spear also in this mix as well.
And Jared, right now, Casey McMullen is kind of just cruising back there. No need for him to get up there and battle at the moment, with still over 60 laps to go here at Phoenix, and really anything can happen. We've already seen it with the luck of these championship four. The only one so far that's not been caught up in anything, your leader, Bernard Person.
Brody Hanna lap down there, not cutting a lot of brake to Casey McMullen right now. Whatever it is, and now he is going to go to the outside, 3 wide. Now as Jason Spears getting put in the middle, Brody Hanna not letting out of this one. I don't have a lot of words to say about it, but still 3 wide. Great racing by these 3 drivers, but this could end in tears.
That it could. If I'm Casey McMullen, I'm thinking I might want to back out of this. Let these 2 battle it out. Either that or dive in deep into the corner here to get around Hanna. Hanna just really able to make the outside work with the momentum there. Jason Spear getting caught in the middle. Definitely didn't want to be there. Decides to get out of it. Make it just a 2 wide battle here. Even not for position, Jared, but the 71 definitely has the work cut out. As you can see, Brody Hanna just really not cutting in any slack in that outside lane.
Looks like maybe he let off there at turn 1. And by the way, Brody Hanna has every right to race as hard as he wants to, but I just think if you're a lap down, personally, I would try to cut the guys on the lead lap some slack, especially when you're multiple laps down. But that's just my opinion, and that's just my opinion. Bernard Person continuing to lead. Coy is in second. Terrell in third. These top 3 have kind of opened up a gap as Coy looks to the inside. Once again, Terrell goes to the high side.
Yeah, all 3 of these drivers here are taking a little bit of different approach to each of these corners here. Right now, though, Bernard Person able to maintain about a 0.2 of a second lead over Coy. But Terrell, he's 0.5 back from Person, knowing that he's got to get up here and get around Coy. He's hoping that these 2 start battling it out. He's able to drive up here and pass both of them.
Looking out the back of the 8 machine, there's Coy. There's Terrell. Terrell to the very high side. Coy up to the back bumper of the 8 machine. Difficult event for Dale Nearad. Looks like that car not going to be easy to repair, so it looks like he's possibly done for the night. Battle for the lead still going on as Richie Coy working his way there, but just can't quite get it. Now back here, Casey McMullen, he got up to his teammate Steve Loomis. Loomis obviously lets him go through. Now he's got up to James Torrey. He's going to make this pass pretty easy. So Casey McMullen up to 12th place.
Yeah, Jared, he's able to make his way around a little bit of this traffic as he's able to pounce on James Torrey there. Don't count the 71 out. Yes, he's got damage, but he's been working on that damage pretty much every time he comes to pit road. Even just that last time he elected to pit, stayed in there for quite some time to get some of this damage repaired.
Battle for 10th. Chad Lang and Kenneth Schultz there battling side by side, and it looks like Chad Lang's going to move himself back into the top 10 tonight. So Chad Lang running kind of partial schedule here, and he has come back here toward the end of the year, getting some reps in for maybe next year. Randall Ballard on pit road as well.
Yeah, that number 4 roadkill machine working his way back up through. Didn't have the night starting out, but able to rebound here and make his way back up into the top 10. Jared, he brought out a caution earlier in this race, still showing he's got speed in that number 4.
It didn't hit anything, I don't believe. Ralph Dolan there in front of him. Ralph championship hopes ended last week after a tough Martinsville race where he's caught up in a couple accidents. But tonight has been pretty solid, not spectacular, but a good Ralph Nolan type night in 9th place. They're having a good run. Just ahead of him is Adam Newton, a driver that's much improved as the season has gone on. He's found his craft and done a very good job there in the number 20. He is in 8th. And then Mark Figueroa, our big gainer of the night, Chris, he's up 20 spots on the night.
That he is. He definitely knew that car was going to have some speed as his teammate started on the outside pole. Now he's moving his way back up there. Casey McMullen, though, Jared, checking in on him, he's now made it up to 11th.
Makes quick work around James Torrey. Now the advantage, Casey McMullen, this thing sets up great for Casey McMullen, Chris, because he came down pit road, took the no tires, got himself some track position, avoids a massive wreck that takes out about 5 drivers that were in front of him. Doesn't get any damage out of that. Comes down pit road, takes all 4 tires. Now he's got the freshest tires on the whole track, and he's just mowing guys down. Speaking of which, he is representing Movember there with that blue and black Blackwater paint. Very beautiful paint job on the number 71 car. But just wanted to point out that he is representing Movember as he moves into 11th.
And he's setting his sights on Chad Lang, easily a little bit faster than that 4 machine. And definitely going to be within the top 10 here before too long. Back up front, Person still has a 0.4 of a second lead over the battling for second, Richie Coy and Terrell. Now 5/6 of a second on those two.
Terrell is going to get around Richie Coy. So now we have 2 championship contenders in our top 2 spots. Nearad in 25th. His night is over. 19 laps down. He will not win the 2021 championship, unfortunately, for the driver from Iowa. But Bobby Terrell, the driver from Tennessee, in his 4th year at FTSR, he is looking for his first Cup Series championship. The closest he's been to it is right now, Chris. I guess we've lost Chris there. So Bernard Person. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry about that. Bernard Person now has a 0.6 of a second lead over Terrell. Terrell a little bit quicker, though, the last lap around once he got clear of Richie Coy. So he's trying to do his best. It seems like he loses a lot of time, though, in the dogleg, Jared.
Yeah, and he is... Bobby Terrell's starting to make some time up, and we want to check in on Casey McMullen. He gets around Ralph Nolan. Ralph Nolan, passed by Chad Lang, kind of opened the door up. So McMullen up into the top 10, and he is starting to mow some guys down here. But up front, it is Bernard Person and Bobby Terrell. That gap now half a second between these 2 drivers, Chris.
It's certainly heating up front. You can see it. Bobby Terrell closing that gap now down to 0.3 of a second.
We've got some spam going on here that we're trying to get rid of, so just bear with me for a moment here.
Once Terrell was able to get around Coy, he's been able to pick up a little bit of speed on Person. Now it looks like that number 5, he's making his way up here to get around this 8 and put himself in the championship seat by leading this race. But I don't think Bernard Person is going to just move over and let the 5 by, Jared.
We've seen already some contact between Bobby Terrell and already 2 championship contenders. Casey McMullen and him got together. Dale Nearad and him got together. Not pinning the blame on Bobby Terrell in either of the circumstances by any means, but just saying that there has been some contact. Bobby Terrell's out here to win this race. You can definitely tell by the way he's driving, Chris.
That he is, Jared, in that number 5 machine. Now Casey
Reckon. It's
Adam Newton. Krause gets involved in a wreck here. This is going to be our 7th yellow in this race.
Wow, and Adam Newton was running in 7th place when that happened. Let's see what happened to the number 20 machine. So we got Chad Lang in behind him. Oh, he just gets in there deep, and he loops it around, does a nice job holding on to it, but the car just lazily spins back up, and Kenneth Schultz was there to take the brunt of it. Oh, my goodness, hard hit for Kenneth Schultz.
And yet another incident where the 71 has to figure out where to go to avoid more contact. Casey McMullen gets through that. Unfortunately for Kenneth Schultz, not so lucky.
Everybody on pit road. McMullen will come in this time. What can he do from that spot? Loomis is on. Newton will be on, so everybody is going to come down pit road. Kenneth Schultz, heavy damage in that brand new number 91 paint scheme, and that is not looking good for him tonight. He was having a great run inside the top 10, but now Bobby Terrell, he's back in this mix, Chris. He's closed down the gap on pit road. He definitely entered right there where he needed to be. What can he do coming off pit road here?
Would be interesting to see if any of these drivers take a strategy approach here and not take 4 tires. It'll be interesting to see. Darren Bruce actually slid through his stall. Casey McMullen a little bit as well. So he's going to lose a little bit of time on pit road. Can't have these mistakes if you're battling for a championship. Bernard Person running off. But it looks like Terrell is going to get the lead here over Person. Richie Coy going to take second away. And Bernard Person now in third position. Kind of the deepest he's been since the start of the race, Jared.
Art mimics reality. I have to say that Bernard Bobby Terrell battling some adversity here in this race, kind of like the 5 car yesterday. The pit crew, he works his way back up into the top 5. The pit crew won him that race yesterday, besides his sheer talent, obviously. But got him off pit road first. And Bobby Terrell's pit crew got him off pit road first. And his qualifying effort, by the way, as well, because it's a straight shot out of his pit stall. He can just gun it, where the other guys kind of have to be a little bit aware. But what a stop by Richie Coy as well. He picks up a spot. Bernard Person, slow pit stop. But Chris, you look at the pit times. Bernard Person actually had the fastest time, but he was just a little bit slow on pit road compared to the other two.
Absolutely, Jared. A pit road speed here matters. 1 mile an hour all the way down pit road will be the difference between first and third, and you see it right there as Bernard Person loses that lead to Bobby Terrell. Interesting to note, Casey McMullen took a little bit of extra time on pit road, Jared, getting some more damage repaired.
And he only lost 1 spot, so not a bad thing there. Darren Bruce also took some time to get some damage repaired. He had a 26-second stop, so he's going to drop from 4th down to 13th. I think Darren thinks he has a winning car and wants to get that thing fixed up, ready to go for the race. Then we have James Torrey up into 11th spot, so good job for him. But Chris, Casey Mullen came in 9th on that pit stop, and he comes out in 10th, so not too bad in my opinion.
Not too bad, but unfortunately for him, he actually came in a little bit more than that. I think he actually went in 7th after the incident with the 2 drivers in front of him. So he still lost a little bit more positions than he would have liked to. But he's repairing damage. He knows he's got to get that machine fixed to get back out here and be competitive, because we saw he wasn't quite as fast as those other championship drivers.
There we go. Getting ready to restart. Now Bobby Terrell, the pole setter, who's gone through a lot tonight, up and down night for the 5 machine. He is going to be your race leader here in the number 5 machine. Richie Coy in 2nd. Williford Mayu checking himself into the top 5. And the long wait as we go around this corner here. Adam Newton catching up there at the tail end. Tough break for him running inside the top 10, but it's been a race of attrition as we only have about 21 cars still out here running around into turn number 3. The flagman holds it. He throws the flag early. Green flag back out. Great start by the top 3. Terrell didn't get going, Chris.
No, he didn't, and you could see the 8 car right up on his bumper, pushing that 5 car. Now looking to make it 3 wide into the corner. Oh my goodness, Jared. That is a risky move by the 8 machine.
Bernard Person came to play today. He tried to stick it down in there, couldn't quite do it. Terrell doesn't want to give up the bottom to Richie Coy, but knows his competitor for the championship is Bernard Person behind him. Slides up the track, and Bernard Person can't quite get the move off. Terrell's looking for the lead.
That he is, trying to regain the lead here. Bernard Person got really loose in the corner there, had to get out of it, up against the wall, side by side for the lead, but don't count out Person. He's right there as well.
Mayu gets around Williford for 4th. They're battling side by side back there. We're focused on the lead. Terrell doing everything he can to try to get this race win. Try to get back out front. Clean Air King even hit Phoenix. Coy doing everything he can to just end the season with the win. And he is battling side by side with Terrell. Terrell washes up the track just a little bit, but Coy doesn't care. He went right against that wall. Side by side for the 5th straight lap, Chris.
that they are. Coy giving no room to that 5 machine coming out of the corner, trying to pin him down there. And Bernard Person, he's loving it. Watching these two side by side, he's not able to get around either one of them, but he's right there, Jared. One mistake by either of these two drivers, and that 8 machine is going to pounce.
All right, so question. I know this is intense right now, but if you're Bobby Terrell, should you care about Richie Coy?
I think you still got to care about Richie Coy. I mean, you don't want to make enemies out here, and you can tell he's trying to do that. Oh, contact between the 8 and the 5.
That was, if there wasn't contact, it was close. Almost. Bobby Terrell left him just enough room there, but I couldn't tell from the angle I had if there was contact or not, but it was definitely close. Bernard Person probably didn't like the fact he didn't get a lot of room up there, but my goodness, we are down to it. What? And look what's going on back here. All this battling. That's brought Casey McMullen up to 6th place as he's working his way around Mark Figueroa on the outside right now.
That he is. Up front, though, Sherwood Williford got inside the 8 machine, elected to get out of it so that they didn't make contact, but he washed up the track. I'm sure for a moment there, the 8 could see his championship hopes falling to the wayside.
Oh, Coy a little bit slow through the corner. Terrell almost got in the back of him. Mayhew has dropped to 5th. Now Bernard Person looking underneath Terrell going into turn 1, and he's not quite going to get there.
Not quite going to get there. Bernard Person's been using that outside groove to be able to make up time on the 5 machine. Not able to do so now, but now looking at the 5 machine, figuring out how he can get around him. He knows that's for the championship race. And now Casey McMullen up into 6th position. He's coming too with a strong car. He's been working on that car, Jared, to get that thing back in a competitive pace.
I think he's going to need a caution at this point in time to get really back in here. I mean, we're down to 36 laps to go, but he's going to give it the old college try. 8 tenths behind this battle right now. Terrell losing out right now to Richie Coy, and I think he thought discretion the better part of valor on that one, because Richie Coy can win this race. Does not affect the championship whatsoever. Bobby Terrell, though, he wants to keep the 8 and the 71 behind him.
That he does, and I think you're right. I think Casey McMullen definitely needs a caution. But Jared, we've seen crazier things here tonight already. I wouldn't say that there couldn't be a caution here before too long.
And it might come with these top 3 competitors right here. McMullen is gaining on Josh Mayhew, who is not really far back. Now remember, Sherwood Williford is a teammate to Casey McMullen, so he is working right now on Bernard Person and just kind of making Bernard Person think about how he's racing.
That he is, Jared, and just because of that, you know that Bernard Person's looking in the mirror at that number 33, trying to figure out where he's going to run so that way the 33 doesn't get that inside look on him. And that's changing the way he's driving. That's why the 5 and the 19 are kind of pulling away a little bit from the 8 machine here as the 33 is trying again to get underneath the 8.
Josh Mayhew running a line that I love, because that's the line I run right up against the wall in 3 and 4. Mayhew doing the same exact thing, so he is definitely gaining a little bit of ground, but then losing it back. Just doesn't have the handling in 1 and 2, it looks like, or 3 and 4, I should say, that he does in 1 and 2. But right now, it is these top 4. McMullen just kind of hovering on the backside of this. He is catching Mayhew, but he is not making a lot of inroad progress toward Richie Coy at this point in time. Coy, Terrell, Person, your top 3. Williford, Mayhew, your top 5. Oh, and Terrell loses the rest of the track. What has happened? The 2 has wrecked, and Mayhew's involved. McMullen's got damage.
And that'll bring out our 8th caution of the night. Person just really runs the car deep into the corner, into the 5. The 5, he didn't get as much damage as the 8 did on this one. And again, McMullen just nowhere to go in that case. He's got damage as well.
I think, oh my goodness. Let's take a look at the replay. So here we go. I mean, Bernard Person pretty deep back here. Something had to have happened to that 5 machine. So Bobby Terrell does get loose. Oh, and what has happened to the 8 machine? I need to look at that, Chris, because that one looked weird from that angle.
It certainly did, Jared. I'm riding along with the cockpit of the 8 machine here, just trying to figure out what went wrong here with that 8 machine diving deep into the corner.
Yeah, I don't. Did he wheel hop? I'm not sure. I mean, I think Casey Mullen, by the way, didn't get as much damage out of that as maybe you think he did. But man, I don't know. We're going to get one more look at this because it is very strange what has happened here with Bernard Person. You think that Bobby Terrell definitely locked up the brakes under braking. Here comes Person. Oh, he is way hot in there, and he just, yeah, I think he just got in there hot, Chris.
I think he saw the opportunity there with Terrell getting into the corner a little bit hot himself. And kind of when you're racing other dirt drivers on shorter tracks, you kind of use them as a braking point. And I think that's a little bit of what happened there to the 8 machine as he locked it down, trying to stay out of the 5 machine.
Well, this has been a crazy race. I don't even know what to say at this point in time, but is that championship over for Person and McMullen?
I don't know if it's over quite yet for McMullen and Terrell, but Person has a lot of damage to that machine, and at this point in the race, it's going to be really hard to get that damage fixed.
We're going to take this opportunity to hear from one of our championship competitors who's out of the car. Dale Nearad out of the car. Dale, tough race. Looks like championship over for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and take us through what happened there. It looked like, you were bound with the 5 car there coming off turn 4. I mean, it's been, 40 laps a little bit now, but what was your perspective on that incident there?
Well, racing hard, turn 1. I think I was holding my line, and Bobby just slid up and clipped me and caused a huge pile up.
Dale, I mean, that's tough. It's a tough pill to swallow. It looked like you were making that car come back to life. I mean, you were up to 3rd place. How were you feeling at that point in time going until that accident there?
Well, I mean, I felt the car was actually starting to kick in a bit where it really mattered. If it wasn't for that wreck, I probably could have got Bernie a little. He'd get his hands full, but it is what it is.
All right, Dale. Well, congratulations on your season, making it here, getting to the point you're at. I'm going to give you this opportunity while we're under caution if you want to shout outs or thank anybody while you have the chance to here.
First off, I have to thank Dairy Queen, Rage Graphics, getting into these races. They've been really good to me for the entire season. I have to thank Spear Motorsports, working really hard with what we got with setups, especially for tonight. Really good setups for tonight. Thank Brody and setting up these FTSR races, and can't win the championship, I reckon, everybody.
All right. Well, there you go, Chris. Dale Nearad, a little bit disappointed, but I think that he's going to come back in the future and be a star wherever he does.
Absolutely. It was certainly a difficult moment for him. Not anything of his own doing. Maybe feels he got into it with Terrell there, not of his own accord there. But that's just how this race is going. All these drivers, they know what's at stake. So they're being completely aggressive here with good purpose. They need to. They've got to. Otherwise, there's not an opportunity for them to get the championship. Now, the 5 machine, he's up here. He's going to be he's going to be in 2nd place here as Coy is taking the outside lane. But right behind him, you don't see any championship drivers. You have to go all the way back to 13th for Casey McMullen.
Yeah, Person in 8th, McMullen in 13th, and we already heard from Dale Nearad. He is out of the event if you're just now joining us, unfortunately. So here we go. Coy's going to lead him down. Pace car is already off, and we are about ready to go back to green. Green flag back out here. Oh, that might have been a little bit jump. Now we're at the green flag. Coy might have rolled that one just a little bit, but we are back under green now.
Back under green, he's getting a little bit of a run out of the corner. Terrell going to look to dive deep into the middle of the corner here to get alongside the 19. They're dead even in the middle of the corner. The 19 going to have to run out of the corner though, Jared, and that number 19 machine able to clear the 5 machine as Bobby Terrell tucks in behind.
Down the corner, Terrell knows that everything's going on, but we got wrecking behind him. Bernard Person involved. Holds on to it. Does he hold on to it? Yes, he does, and we stay green.
Holds on to it. A little bit of contact between him and Tony Solari in that 74 machine. That's going to put him all the way back now into 12th.
And something has happened to Casey McMullen, Chris. He is on pit road. Did he get a black flag? We'll have
I'll have to go and double check that, Jared, but certainly not what that 71 machine was looking for. He may have pitted when the pits were closed.
We'll have to get an idea. We'll try to get an update on that one, but he is on the pit road looking to be out of this event. And now it's Bobby Terrell's to lose at this point in time with Bernard Persson now pretty much out of this battle as well. We're going to take this opportunity while this is going on. Battle for the lead, though. We're not going to leave. Oh, Williford loose off the corner. My goodness, Williford very loose. He's going to lose a couple spots.
And Jared, I believe it was a black flag for that 71 machine, and that's going to really make his night pretty much over here.
Yeah, let's, now that the battle for the lead has kind of calmed down, let's take a look and see what happened to Bernard Persson. So here we go. He's battling with, he's got Loomis in here. Tony Solari's in here. And there's, everybody's kind of going down in the corner pretty heavily. Person's on the outside, and oh, Solari just locks it up. Yeah, that was just not good from Tony Solari there. Getting on the brakes, locked it up, getting into the championship contender.
Been a rough night.
Oh, Williford's wrecking. Hard impact. And that's going to put us under another caution. And sure, Williford almost wrecked it a couple times off turn number 2, Chris. Here he goes again. He's up on the high side, looking very good here. Just gives it the beans. Oh, he gets into the wall, then gives it the tries to get out of the gas, and then wrecks it, locks it down though. Nobody's going to get into him. Single car wreck. But that's another caution, Chris.
And Jared, that's also going to put an end to his run of top 10 finishes here. Not going to be able to surpass Bernard Persson here, even if Persson doesn't make it into the top 10 for the final bit. Also, not going to be able to collect that one win in this season. Going to make it in that streak for him as well.
Well, big changes. Richie Coy and Bobby Terrell, first and second, Chris, have pitted. Josh Mayu, Mark Figueroa, they've all pitted. The top 4 pitted. Everybody else stayed out, including Bernard Persson. 23 laps to go. This is just getting good.
And Jared, that's certainly an interesting moment there for them. It's certainly going to make it a lot harder to get through this traffic, to get back up there, as there's going to be, it won't look too bad, as it looks like it's only going to be, I think, 3 positions back from Bernard Persson that they'll start, but it's going to feel like an eternity.
Casey Mullen, by the way, 2 laps down, did not get that lucky dog, so needs some help. Not out of it by any means, but he definitely needs significant help at this point in time. He is shown as the first car that is not on the lead lap, so now that Adam Newton back on the lead lap, so he does have that opportunity to get back on there, but it is going to take a lot of stuff happening. But let's talk about the guys up front. Chad Lang is leading this race. He started last or second to last on the field. Chad Lang won Cup Series victory last year at Dover on a fuel saving kind of race, beating out Tracy Powers for that win, his only career win. Darren Bruce, we already talked about him winning some playoff races. Ralph Nolan, he got his first career win back in New Hampshire. He was a playoff driver because of that win. Now you look at it, Chris. Steve Loomis in 4th place. James Torrey in 5th place. Spear in 6th place. I mean, we got some different guys up here.
That we do, Jared. It's interesting to see what's going on here up in the top bit of this field. We've already seen that Lang had a little bit of speed earlier on. So did Darren Bruce. Darren Bruce started second. He's finally made his way back up into that second position. These drivers, they want to get out here and win. They don't care about the championship.
None of the drivers in the top 6 are championship drivers. Now, Terrell is he comes out of the pits in 9th place, so he'll line up right behind Bernard Persson, who did not pit. Persson, the last of the drivers to pit. And his teammate Jason Spear is there in front of him. And Jason obviously got his first career win back at Talladega. But shout out to Steve Loomis. Great job driving up to 4th place. James Torrey, great job driving up to 5th place. But don't get a lot of time to talk about these 2 drivers. They're usually, in tough battles back in the back of the pack. But when they have a good run, they've been up here. They've been competitive all night long. And good to see them having a great race here tonight.
Absolutely, Jared. Up in your top 5, you have 3 drivers that are plus 20 or more on the field here. That's Chad Lang, Stephen Loomis, and James Torrey. Those 3 drivers, they've done what they needed to do to get up here and really fight for this race. It's interesting to see how this is going to play out with a lot of different tire strategies going on.
So Chad Lang and Darren Bruce, all these guys up here, up to Bernard Person, pitted 10 laps ago. So not terribly on the strategy here as we look at it. Only 10 lap older tires than the guys back there. But now we got faster guys at the back, slower guys at the front on the older tires. We'll see what happens. Chad Lang will lead him down, leading his first some of his first laps of the year. Green flag back out here, and Darren Bruce shot out of a cannon.
That he did, side by side with the 4 going into the corner. Going to pull a little bit of an advantage is the 4 machine in the middle of the corner. Darren Bruce going to have the momentum coming out of the corner though, and he easily takes the lead from the 4.
Looking back here, Bernard Person, Bobby Terrell battling. Will catch back up. Nolan up to second place, battling with Lane. 3 wide. Richie Coy through the middle. 4 wide. Contact with Person. Contact with Jason Spear, and we're back under yellow.
That we are. 3 wide, aggressive move by Richie Coy, trying to shoot the middle of Bernard Person there, and Spear, just not enough room for those 3 drivers there. All of them racing aggressively there. Rightfully so, though, Jared.
Let's take a look what happened. I mean, so Bernard Person, he's on the 10-lap older tires, not massive. Richie Coy, great run through the middle, but Steve Loomis is also up there on the high side, so they're almost 4 wide. Spear was just barely on the inside of Loomis. Heavy impact. Solari gets impacted. I don't know who hit Richie Coy from the bottom. Was that TJ Bartel possibly? I couldn't tell. Might have been Mike Watts. But Coy, that's the danger you get in, Chris. When you have the newer tires, you got to make a path, but sometimes that path closes up before you know it, and you also don't know what's going on in front of you because, like I said, Jason Spear is underneath it of Loomis. You can see from that angle just a little better. Person does wash up just a little bit, but that wreck was going to happen regardless. Great job by Figueroa to avoid that, and that is TJ Bartel that just got a little damage blowing that engine. That might be season done for Bartel at that point.
And Jared, interesting to note here, Casey McMullen able to get through that without any contact. He was scored the first car 1 or more laps down. He's going to get one of them back here, I do believe.
Yeah, and he isn't going. Maybe it's too soon, so we'll see here. Yeah, there he goes. He is going now, so he is going to get one of those laps back. So you get one more caution here, and all of a sudden Casey Mullen back in play, and all these playoff drivers, Chris, they're battling a little bit wounded out here.
That they are. Every one of these playoff drivers have some kind of damage that are left. We mentioned Dale Nearad out for the night with his engine issues. Jason Spear very unhappy there with Richie Coy as those two are riding the ship, trying to go the correct direction. You could see that he was going up and just showing his frustration with Richie Coy there in that team. I don't know that he knew that that wreck was happening, whether or not Coy wanted to or not. Now Casey McMullen will hope to be able to stay in front of Jason Spear here and get another quick caution, which would get him on the lead lap. Right now, though, 12 cars on the lead lap here, Jared. A long way for this race still to go, it seems like, with 15 laps to go. 10th caution on the night.
15 to go, 10 laps, and boy, the top 5. If you were putting down the betting parlay, I'm sorry, no disrespect to any of those drivers in the top 5. I don't think anybody would put that betting parlay down, and if anybody did, they would be walking out with $1 million, I'm sure, if this was you were able to gamble on it, because my goodness, what a job by all these drivers. Loomis, Torrey, I mean, like I said before, we don't get a chance to talk about those guys a whole lot. Torrey's been very part-time this year, but my goodness, what a run for him. So congrats to him to get up here at this point in time. But as this race continues, Chris, you know, there's the attrition is, as we talked about, it starts to amp up. It starts to amp up even more and more as we go on.
It's going to be interesting to note. Bernard Person is going to get stuck on the outside on this restart with Bobby Terrell underneath him. It'll be interesting to see if there's a little bit of payback after their contact.
I'm a little bit surprised Bernard Person did not come down pit road, Chris. I mean, you look at it. If he came down pit road, he would have dropped behind Bobby Terrell, but that would have been it. He would have lost one spot.
in one spot and would have had a little bit of newer tires and maybe get a little bit of that left front damage repaired, but decides to stay out. It's his will to do so, able to do whatever it takes. But now you've got him. You've got the number 17 machine of Loomis kind of laying back there a little bit, and it's making Terrell that much farther back than Person. Be interesting to see if they close that gap there, as James Story has definitely got a connection issue. He keeps blinking in and out in front of the 8 machine.
Darren Bruce going to lead him down. Chad Lang there in second. Bruce is going to take the high side here. And green flag back out here at Phoenix. And a good start
Chad
by
Lang
Darren
got
Bruce.
A great start there on the inside lane. He clears the 06 easily on that restart there. Not a good start though by Bobby Terrell, as he's not able to make any position up at the moment. Bernard Person now in the top 5.
Person gets around Loomis. Loomis trying to get out of the way here. Bobby Terrell is stuck kind of behind him and Figueroa. Somebody locking it up in front of him. That's a wreck. It's Chad Lang.
Chad Lang locked up the brakes, caught it looks like the inside wall, and shot out to the outside line. That's going to bring on another quick caution, and Casey McMullen is going to be on the lead lap again, Jared.
Let's take a look and see what happened to Chad Lang. He's leading the race. Chad Lang leading the race. He gets in front of Darren Bruce. Darren Bruce looks up underneath of him. And, oh, no, he gets help. Darren Bruce punted him. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, it looked like a lockup. We were focused on Bobby Terrell and Bernard Person there. But that was, Darren, I like you, bud, but that was a punt.
It certainly was, Jared. This just shows how important it is to these guys to get out here and win this race. It's maybe the last one of the season, but it doesn't matter. They want to get out here and steal this victory away from these playoff drivers, and every single person that's been up in the top 5 tonight has basically been involved in some kind of accident.
He is up on the back bumper. Here we go, on board. Yeah, and Chad, to be fair to Darren, when he goes back and watches this, Chad did get in the brakes a little bit sooner, but regardless, I mean, I think that was an ambitious move regardless there. But, you got to go for it, I guess, at the end of the day. So Darren Bruce to first, but look who's in second place, James Torrey, Chris.
And Torrey really doing an incredible job there on that restart. It had a pretty abysmal start to it, but was able to make up a lot of ground on Bruce and Lang there, and able to really hang with those guys. Certainly was going to be up there battling at least for second before too long.
And I want to give James his due this year. He has finished, his last top 5 was back at Daytona, finishing 5th there. He finished 5th, 12th. His best finish is 12th this year, apologies, at Kansas a couple of weeks ago. But he has done pretty well in past seasons. Like I said, he's only ran 23 races this year. He does have a win. It was back in 2019 at Michigan. He's got a couple seconds, in his career. Indianapolis, Michigan, Pocono. But James Torrey up here in the top 3.
And to do it, he's had to be up plus 24 on his starting position, Jared. He started way back in 26 and is able to make his way up here in the second position. Incredible night for that number 2. And he was also involved in one of the early crashes as well. Yeah,
he was involved. He got a little bit of damage from the rear end. Somebody got into him in the very first incident of the night, but he has been able to keep that car clean since then. And James Torrey, wouldn't that be an upset? It'd be great to see James Torrey, all-around class act, good guy. I'd love to see him get a victory here in the broadcast here, the last broadcast of the year. But right now, championship, we got to switch focus back. 10 to go. Bernard Person in 4th place, Bobby Terrell in 7th place, and Casey McMullen gets back on the lead lap. Yes, he's got to start at the very end of the longest line, but he's got the freshest tires. He's got 9 laps to get it done, and maybe another caution to come.
Maybe another caution to come. Back there in 12th position, the 71. Now back on the lead lap at least, and he probably has, at this point, one of the cleaner of the 3 championship drivers at the moment between him, Person, and Terrell. Terrell, all, excuse me, all of his damage to the back end of that number 5 machine. Bernard Persons to the front end. But at this point, Casey McMullen, he waited. He got all of the damage fixed. If he gets another quick caution here, though, Jared, he'll be right up here with these drivers.
Here we go. McMullen will restart in 12th, but he's actually about 19th in line there. So it's Darren Bruce and James Torrey, Ralph Nolan up here as well in the top 4. Bernard Person, the leading championship contender, in 4th. Here we go. Leading them around the corner. Maybe the last time. We don't know yet. Flagman, flag, green out. It's back underway.
What a weird start there for the 06 and the 2. Neither one of those drivers got going. And a little bit of contact between the 04 and the 5 machine, as now Person is on the outside of Terrell as they come out of the corner here. That's your championship battle between those two drivers.
Terrell loose off the corner. Maintains, though. We're going to focus on this battle. Terrell on the inside. Figueroa there loses up the track. Person's just going to drive underneath them. 3 wide going through the dog leg.
Person not able to lift. He knows the championship is on the line here as he's battling with Terrell there. He cannot let Terrell get around him. Contact between the two. Looks like they're going to make it through the corner, but this is such a tight battle.
No!
Both of the drivers wrecking.
Oh, no, and Terrell's got damage. Person's got damage. Oh, and he's... Oh, Coy's got... Oh, Casey McMullen's got damage. Oh, man. And that almost... Richie Coy barely caught the end of Bernard Person, and when he did, that went right into Casey McMullen. Unbelievable.
Wow, Jared. I'm so glad that you and I are up in the booth and not in this field here tonight with these championship drivers, every single one of them just getting beat and battered. Now it looks like Bobby Terrell once again in the catbird seat.
And Person, he couldn't give up the edge. Credit to him. Just gets in there. Figueroa is battling to win, too. He gets heavy damage. I think Terrell got quite a bit of damage out of that as well. Person comes up the track in front of Coy, and Coy slams on the brakes and tries to avoid him and just barely clips him. And when he clips him, it comes right down into Casey McMullen. My goodness. This is what a final race does, I guess, Chris. I'm kind of at a loss of words at this point in time.
It's certainly interesting to see how these drivers are handling the pressure here tonight. You can see that they're just that much more chaotic around each other. They know that what's at stake here, and it's certainly an interesting race for sure. But certainly, if you're in this field, you know you want to try to stay away from everything going on. Give extra room at this point. Let's get this race going and just get to the finish line.
At FTSR, they do have one attempt at a green-white checker. So, we will have, if that comes down to it, you see Coy coming down pit road. He's crab walking. I don't see that a lot nowadays on the service. So you know how bad that car is damaged. So his night likely done, at least definitely for the victory, but likely in terms of a good, decent pit if I could talk, decent finish here tonight. But all that damage, Casey McMullen didn't really get too much out of it. I think Bobby Terrell is actually the most wounded of the group, and McMullen didn't pit. Person didn't pit. I mean, these guys are like, we're going for it, man.
And it's interesting to know that they didn't pit, Jared. Those two drivers, McMullen, Person, they would have only lost 2-3 positions. But the problem is that they still have that much people to get in front of to get up here and battle for the championship with what will be basically a green-white checker.
So this is not going to be an official green-white checker here, but we will have basically... No, this is
Yeah, this will be a green-white checkered, an official one, I do believe, Jared, they're coming to 3 to go now.
No, this is not. They did extend the caution. That was the last one. So, no, this is not an official one yet. But they would need the 2 to go right here, I believe. So we'll see what happens here.
Going to be interesting to see Darren Bruce, Ralph Nolan, James Torrey, those 3 drivers up here, 1, 2, 3. Behind them, your championship leader at the moment, Bobby Terrell, Mark Figueroa, Josh Mayhew, Steven Loomis, Tony Solari, Casey McMullen, and Bernard Person rounding out your top 10 as they double up here, getting ready for the restart.
So it's going to be Nolan and Bruce, Torrey and Terrell Terrell maybe with some damage. Figueroa, I mean, he didn't pit either. He's got damage. All these guys are, they told the pit crew to go home. We are staying out. No more pitting. It's over with. And I'd say that a lot of these teams are probably close, if not already out of tires. 5 sets in the race, and I'm looking at the list, and I think almost all these guys out of tires. So that could be part of it too. Pace car off.
Makes its way off the track here. Still a long ways to get to that Geico restart zone, Jared. But all these drivers, every single one of them, they know what's at stake for these championship 4. They know their season's on the line. It's the pinnacle moment for them. But Darren Bruce, Ralph Nolan, James Torrey, they want to get up here and win this race and cap off a great season.
Green flag back out at Phoenix. Good start by Nolan and Bruce behind him. What can these other drivers do? 3 to go.
Casey McMullen moving the 17 out of his way. His teammate Jared is now Terrell way high up on the outside. 3 wide again, 5 involved in the wreck in the wall. Casey McMullen gets around. Bernard Person in the wall as well. Another yellow flag flies.
Green, white, checker time, and let's just take a replay. So this is all going to be set. It looks like Terrell's got more damage than he thinks, because Mayu almost ran over him in the middle of the corner, which is not something you see a lot of Phoenix. And then he just kind of is there, and you see everybody just kind of getting through, getting thrashed around. Person damaged. Let's see if we can get a better view of this accident here. Sun setting at Phoenix. And yeah, I mean, it just looks like Terrell's just not up to speed. And Mayu's under there, and he just clips him. Little netcode clips him. Solari's there, and then just chaos ensues behind him. Lane Allen with significant damage, and the guy that sneaks through it, Chris, is Casey McMullen.
Casey McMullen almost gets clipped by the O2 and barely able to make it through. Ralph Nolan also off the pace at the end of this wreck here, but Bernard Person, Bobby Terrell, both involved in this one. Bernard Person, he already had heavy damage to the front end of that car. Now it's even worse.
What happened to Ralph Nolan Jr.? I mean, this is... No, he came into pits. What happened here? Oh, no, he missed his pit and he had to back up. Very strange situation. So Ralph Nolan Jr. Takes himself out of that competition. So now it's going to be Darren Bruce and James Torrey.
And Jared, the reason why, while we're watching the wreck happen behind them, Darren Bruce and Ralph Nolan Jr. got into each other coming out of the corner. Ralph Nolan Jr. went into the wall, and that's why he ended up pitting.
Let's take a look and see what happened, because we did miss that one because of everything else going on here. But that, boy, oh boy. I don't think a lot of Christmas cards can be sent out after this race, so I'm trying to find it, guys, so just bear with me here, because there's a lot of action going on here. So here we go. We've finally gotten it up here. So there's Ralph Nolan. This is a battle for the lead. Nolan to the outside. Oh, and I think both of them just kind of got together. Let's see if we can get another look at that. So there comes Ralph Nolan. He's on the outside here. Let's go to the chopper cam. And Bruce definitely didn't give him a lot of room, but oh, a net code. 100% net code. Tough break for Ralph Nolan. Oh, Figueroa almost involved. But that was 100% netcode. I hate when that happens because, you feel like this guy hit you or you hit this guy, and two guys can be mad at each other and not even realize that was a pretty bad netcode. We see that every now and then, but unfortunately, Ralph Nolan going to be the guy that ends up the worst of it.
Absolutely, and Jared, this has been an incredible and chaotic race, but now Casey McMullen, who at one point, Jared, 2 laps down, has now made his way back up here and is now in the championship position. That 71 machine, he's had to do a lot to get up into this point.
And Man, this has been a crazy race. But guess who's our championship leader? It's Casey McMullen, who is definitely got a wounded car. I don't think it's off pace, but it is definitely got some damage on it that I don't think he has not gotten that repaired since that happened. Green, white checker, next flag when they take the green, or actually the next flag will end it, regardless of wrecks. We got a lot of modified looking cars out here, as we've seen in the chat, a couple guys talking about it. But it's going to be Tory and Bruce leading them down, Figueroa and McMullen, your row number 2.
Now, if you're Casey McMullen, you just got to avoid whatever happens as we get ready to go green here.
And we're back under green. Tory with the slow start, Bruce with the slow start, stacks everybody up behind him.
That it does. You got the 06, the 04, 02 teammates that started on the inside lane, and only one of them got a good start coming out of the corner there. Casey McMullen, though, is kind of just playing it easy there with Adam Newton on his inside.
But Bernard Person is coming. I mean, that Bernard Person machine, he is not out of this thing. Let's focus in on this. Adam Newton looks to the inside of McMullen. McMullen, oh my goodness, a little contact. And now we are got Bernard Person. He is there.
He's there, but he's got to catch that 71 machine to be able to get around him, Jared. That's going to be hard to do. You see him, he's driving deep into the corner there. Tries to get up to the 04 machine. He's right there on Casey's bumper. Casey going to have to battle hard in this next set of corners.
Bernard Person smacks the wall off the corner. Darren Bruce will grab the victory up to the lead. Here comes Bernard Person. Drives it in deep, but it's going to be Casey McMullen. He is going to be your 2021 champion here at Full Throttle Sim Racing, holding off Bernard Person in the last corner. Bernard Person gave it a valiant effort to defend his crown, but Casey McMullen involved in many accidents tonight, and he comes out the victor, and he will be your champion.
And you can see Bernard Person there giving him a little bit of love tap. Be careful there, Bernard. You don't really have much there to be bumping with. He's just giving him a little bit of congratulations. And Jared, there's not often in the sim world where you can actually see just how excited a driver is behind the wheel. But if you go in and watch the in-car camera as Casey McMullen passes the line, afterwards, he starts shaking that car left and right with joy.
And we saw that. We definitely saw that on screen. And Chad Lang giving Darren Bruce a little door love at the end there as well. He wasn't, I guess, too impressed with how that ended up. But what a job by Darren Bruce. He's going to grab a victory. James Torrey, we'll get to talk to him tonight. If he's around, sometimes not on the server, so we'll see if we'll be able to grab him. But what a race! I'm speechless, Chris.
Absolutely, Jared. A incredible race all around. Probably a little bit more caution filled than anyone exactly expected here tonight, but made for an exciting and enjoyable race to watch. But I certainly am glad that we were watching and not in any of these cars.
There he is, Casey McMullen, the 71. He's going to take an extra lap around here, and we're here for it. He's going to pull up at the Geico restart zone. The first championship for Casey McMullen in the 71 machine. There's Darren Bruce celebrating as the victor of the race. So we'll hear from both of those drivers. But Casey McMullen burns it down, your 2021 champion.
What an incredible moment. You don't have to win the race to win the championship here tonight. You just have to beat 3 drivers, and that's what the driver of the 71 machine did, as he's able to pull away from Bernard Person. Person gave it everything he possibly had there at the end, but just too little too late.
What a job by those drivers, and we're going to hear from our championship runner-up first, and then we'll hear from Casey McMullen and our top 3 finishers here as we bring in Bernard Person. Bernard, what a valiant effort, man. I don't know where to start with your night, but second place in the championship.
Yeah, I mean, it was like survival of the battle, you know.
Yes, I mean, you at the beginning of the race, I mean, you kind of were checked into third place, and then you kind of got that car going. You then contact between McMullen and Terrell, and then you were able to take over and lead for a sizable portion of this race, but then we had some cautions late, and it kind of changed the shape of this race.
Yeah, it's unfortunately, you know, we needed a long run for our set, but no complaints, you know. Second is great.
And then at the end, I mean, you know, the car, a lot of damage. It got caught up in a couple wrecks there. take us through what happened when you looked like you were making a move on Bobby Terrell. The car maybe got loose on you under braking there.
I don't know if it was me went in there too hard or just Bobby just slowed up so much through the corner to get a better drive off. So I didn't have that drive off with him.
It was definitely close, and it was tough to see both that happen there for sure. But Bernie, I mean, great job, man, on your season. I know it's probably not what you want, but I'm gonna give you this opportunity. Take your time. Thank whoever you'd like to thank, and of course, as always, we're always thinking about what you're racing for out there.
Thank you, Jared, and I always want to thank you guys for always putting on a great show. Brody for putting together a great league, and like always, all my teammates for putting in the hard work day in and day out. And I am racing for a cause. It was for Mia. She's battling cancer, and I pray for her every day, and she's the true champion in my eyes.
Well, class act, Bernard Person. He's definitely going to win another one of these championships in the future, Chris. But kind of definitely heartbroken, I can tell.
Absolutely, Jared. You can hear it. I mean, it was a tough race for all of these drivers, and Bernard thought he had the opportunity, as many of them did, to win this championship. Just falls one position short on Casey McMullen for being able to win this one.
And Chris, I believe you've caught up with the winner of the race, Mr. Darren Bruce.
That I have. Darren Bruce started second, had a little bit of issue at the beginning of the race, but you were able to make it back up here and score the victory tonight. Take us through your race.
Yeah, it was, we were quick, but I was trying to be respectful, the chase guys there. And once, like it was McMullen and Terrell kind of spun each other out there a little bit. And after that, Troy got up there, and I got to apologize to Troy. We got started back on that one restart, and I got under him, and the car just went tight, and I pushed up into him, and I could not stop it, and I got to apologize to him for that. But after that, we just, we had a little bit of damage, started running hot, got our damage fixed, got tape took off, and just kind of hung with it and found ourselves out front there at the end.
You certainly did, and what an incredible, chaotic race we had here tonight. And really, going into this race, did you kind of expect that this is how many cautions we were having, or that drivers would be so aggressive trying to fight their way for this last race here of the season?
To be honest, I figured it would be the other way, to be honest with you.
Absolutely. Well, this ends the season for you here at Phoenix. What can we expect out of this 06 machine next year?
We're hoping to be back with K2B Motorsports and be back strong for next season.
Well, absolutely. We'll be looking forward to it. Anyone you'd like to thank, shout out here tonight that helps get this 06 to and from the virtual track?
Absolutely. First, I want to thank Dark Matter Designs and you guys for doing the broadcast, but I want to thank Josh and the K2B team. We work together. We practice together. Wayne Stansel, he's going to be joining up with us next year. He's been in here with us, spotting for us and helping us out. And I want to thank my wife, Leah, for letting me do this, and my son, Kalen, for doing my computer work. And just glad to be here.
Absolutely. And Darren, I have to make mention of it, as so many times during the playoffs, you got to play spoiler here with these playoff drivers. What were your expectations coming into these races as a non-playoff driver, and how best to race those that were?
I've been pretty apprehensive. I've been trying to run them guys clean and let them go. I know at Martinsville, I was, I led part of that, and those chase guys were lined up. Once the first one got by, I just let them all go. I didn't want to interfere. Didn't want to be no part of that chase. Let them guys settle it between themselves.
Absolutely. We'll be looking forward to seeing this 06 machine in a competitive format next season here. Pin a pin in this season with a victory here tonight. Congratulations again.
Thank you. And we want to be full-time next year where we can get the whole season in, hopefully contend for the points ourselves next year.
Absolutely, and best of luck to you.
Thank you.
All right, Chris, that was our driver that won the race. Unfortunately, our second place driver and our third place driver Doesn't look like they are available. So, Chris, you look at it. Darren Bruce, tough race, but he ended up getting the win.
That he did, Jared, and really that was all thanks to all those quick cautions there at the end. But really, he did what he needed to do. He got damage early on. He said the car was overheating, worked on the damage the entire rest of the race, and just avoided everything else that happened here tonight to be able to get that 06 machine into victory lane here tonight. It certainly seems like it was a difficult thing to do.
For sure. But let's give our due to our champion, and let's bring in our champion, Casey McMullen. He gets it done. Congratulations, man.
Man, you believe that? That's crazy.
I don't really know where to start, Casey. This is I don't think 25 laps ago I thought you might have been out of this thing. Although I didn't put a coffin on you by any means, but my goodness, this has been. I don't think there's been a crazier race this year for you.
No, I mean, man, it started out good, and then we had a little bump, and just the bad. Went downhill from there, and had a couple mistakes, and man, just bad luck throughout the whole damn race.
So let's start at the beginning. You qualified in third place. You get up to the front, and you're battling with Bobby Terrell. Little contact there. What happened with you in the 5?
I didn't even get to see it yet. I thought I was given room, but I guess I wasn't. I don't know. I didn't get to see it really.
Yeah, it looked like two guys driving hard from our perspective for sure. But tough racing gets you guys set in the back, so you're having to fight your way back through the field. Bobby does a little bit better job. You're kind of stuck in the middle there. Might have had a little bit more damage than him. But then you're able to get yourself back in the mix of things. But then you get into the corner, get loose, spin down, hit the 23 car. Did that create some more damage for you?
Yeah, that was unfortunate. It just went around there. I don't know what was up with that, but I'm sorry to Brody. I didn't mean to cause him any damage tonight. But I don't know. It just went bad there, and man, I thought, oh, there it is. There went the race, and man, I had a lot more bad luck than that, though.
Yeah. Well, then you made a huge call. You obviously had the damage. You got the damage fixed, but you take it looked like no fuel, no tires, so fuel only. Got yourself from about, I think, 16th, but I'm not 100% sure if you were 16th or 15th at the time. Got yourself up into 7th place, and then got a quick caution. That changed your fate pretty quick in this race?
Yeah, it did. I think we had that was a big wreck there, and so I came in and got some tires. I was just trying to get a little track position and see how it did, but it wasn't going to hold up that well. So I decided to get some tires after that big wreck, and man, with 71 to go, I thought I had this thing all won if we went green, because I had enough gas, and I didn't think those guys would make it, because I was only good on two laps, and they had 10 extra laps on it. So I thought I was going to win there, and then of course, man, caution's been coming out, and so that changed, and then I got caught up in a couple wrecks.
Yeah, I mean, you got some more damage on the front of that 71, but then, you had two big wrecks, happened right in front of you. You got a little damage in one of them, and you didn't end up getting any repairs for that one. But the one before that, I mean, we were on board with you. Incredible job. Maybe a little bit of luck to get through there. I mean, you were staring down a closing hole, and it opened up right in front of you there.
Yeah, I just didn't want to get rear-ended, and I was just figured hopefully nobody turns into me, and kind of worked out. Man, it was just nuts. I don't know if you noticed, I was 2 laps down at one time. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, and that was my last question about your race. I mean, we saw you come down pit road right when the green flag flew. Did you get a black flag or a penalty there?
Yeah, well, we were out there for a couple laps when I won caution, and I was like, well, I better go get some tires, and I had to let somebody by. And it gave me I was like, crap, and I didn't have enough time to react. I hit the damn barrels at the end of the road, and I still got a penalty. after all that time waiting, I still got a penalty. So it was a passing, and it's just a green flag penalty.
Well, and then after all of that, you ended up getting the 2 laps down, like you said, but got 2 cautions inside 25 to go, got yourself back on the lead lap, and then it was game on from there, Casey. And then accidents in front of you. Bernard Person and Bobby Terrell get involved in an accident. Some drivers in front of them get in an accident, and all of a sudden you're sitting there with 4th place. But Bernard Person made a late charge. What was going through your mind when you saw the 8 car coming onto you pretty quick in 3 and 4 there?
Oh, I think I was. I by that time his car was so damaged. I was just, my heart was beating, and I was just making sure I didn't screw up. So I was taking it extra easy, and yeah, I'm a little wore out.
No doubt about it, Casey. A lot of guys out there shouting out their thanks. We got Jason Martin in the chat. We got Dean Doucette out in the chat. Brad Patterson out in the chat. All of them shouting out your championship victory. But this is your time, man. Congratulations on the championship. And take as long as you want. But I'm going to turn the mic over to you, bud.
Well, thanks everybody. Thanks for you guys putting on a great show. Holy crap. FTSR, everybody here who's been here throughout the year, every current and past members. It's been a great year. A lot of beating and banging, but man, I can't believe I won a stinking championship, and this league's just so tough. I can't believe it, but thanks Blackwater Products USA, Steve Barry. Big shout out to you, man. I just can't believe it. Thanks to my wife. Thanks to my kids. Thank God. And, we'll see you next season or the off season, whoever's around. So thank you, everybody.
Well, there you go. A happy, emotional Casey McMullen grabbing his first career Cup Series championship in dramatic fashion.
And Jared, what an incredible comeback for that 71 machine. We mentioned it, 2 laps down, able to get the lucky dog twice with really quick cautions there, and just putting himself in the right places at the right time, many different times tonight to get through this race. 13 cautions, 8 different lead changes. Wow, what an incredible race.
And that's it. That's going to put a capper on our season here at FTSR. Those guys are going to move on to the off season with the next gen car, and in 2022 likely moving to the next gen car. But Chris, this is also our last broadcast on Full Throttle TV, so I'm going to let you go first. If there's anything you would like to put out there or say before we end it here at Full Throttle TV.
Absolutely been a pleasure watching these guys week in and week out with this league. Bertie Hanna getting an incredible amount of drivers together to actually go out here and race week in and week out at a difficult season. 38 races. That's 2 more races than your actual Cup Series with 1 additional race for your All-Star. A lot of time commitment this league is, and a lot of different drivers making it work to be up here and battling every single week. And really, Jared, for me, it was a great to watch certain guys mature in the league. Some of the part-timers come and go and grow in their skill set here watching these races. It was really quite pleasurable, and looking forward to being someone watching next year from the sidelines, and wishing all of the drivers here at FTSR the best of luck going forward.
Also, we're not able to get a comment from Bobby Terrell. He obviously probably upset about the finish of that race. Can't blame him, but unable to get a comment from him. But that's going to do it for Full Throttle TV, for myself on Full Throttle TV as well. So, I've been with FTSR for 15 years on and off. I've made a lot of friendships over the years, and I've had a lot of great times, a lot of great memories with the drivers and the competition that's been here. Made a lot of friends over the years. Met a lot of people over the years, and raced with some of the best drivers in the service on iRacing and in our 2K3. But at the end of the day, people change and things change, and it's at times you just have to do something different or move on from it. And I wish FTSR nothing but the best of luck. Brody Hanna has been a great friend to me for since I met him on NASCAR Heat back in 2004, along with Brian Bliss as well. They were both in that same league. And I've had a lot of good memories with Full Throttle Sim Racing, whether it's winning an Xfinity championship or broadcasting here on Monday nights for Full Throttle TV. It is going to be missed, and it is bittersweet. But at the end of the day, people have to make decisions and go their separate ways. And wish nothing but the best for Full Throttle Sim Racing and the future for all the drivers there. I'm sure our paths will cross in the future. But that's going to do it. That's it for Full Throttle TV. For Jared Carr, for Chris Spear, we will see you guys somewhere in the future, I'm sure. Thanks for watching, and good night.